Back here once again on the Subway pregame show, Gretna Hawk edition of the Subway pregame show. The Altavista Colonels are down in Gretna here tonight taking on the Hawks. The old annual rivalry game renewed, and we're talking again with the head coach, Mike Sharness. And, Coach, before we get on to tonight's matchup, big win last week against Appomattox at home. It was, again, the defense. And you guys have run on a pretty long streak of just only allowing one touchdown or less, and a lot of big plays made by that defense, and I think probably none bigger than the Michi Malbeck long interception return, 94, 95 yards, and it really sort of sealed the game for you guys there. I mean, if they score on that possession as they were knocking on the door, if they score there, all of a sudden it's an 18-6, 18-7 ball game, but you sort of put it to rest with that big play.
No doubt about it, Kyle. We had they had a tiny bit of momentum as far as moving the ball down the field. And Michi made a great play on the ball and, returned it for pick six and went into the halftime with that lead, which was very big. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, it seems like with the way you guys are just a ball-hawking unit out there in the defensive secondary, is it something you and Coach Revis game plan for, as far as the fact of, hey, if we can just get them in passing situations, guys, then we're licking our chops. You know, our D-ends and our D-line can go after them and not worry about the run. And once they throw that ball up, it's as much ours as it is theirs.
No, we don't necessarily game plan to ball hawk. What Coach Revis does is just put our kids. You know, we've got a number of kids that can play some multiple positions, and we just see what each team is doing. What they want to do, well on offense. We try to stop that with a little bit of adjustments here and there. But we have the athletes and football players that can make it. That's the biggest thing, is just the adjustments that we're able to make with the type of kids that we have right now.
Well, you'll have to make an adjustment tonight, as not because of an injury, but Clydell Moon will be unavailable, and then I know you wanted to talk about that, and there was also an additional injury to Trayvon that you wanted to mention as well.
Yeah, Trayvon Robinson got hurt a couple weeks ago in practice, and turns out he tore his ACL and his anterior cruciate ligament, so he's going to have surgery here coming up soon. So we feel sorry for him and wish him the best with surgery. Devontae Clark is playing well for us this year. He had to go through the same thing last year, so it's a very tough break for that young man and our football team. And Clydell is serving a 2-game suspension for throwing a punch in the ball game, which very disappointing. Clydell's had a very good career with us, and he's just making some bad decisions at different times, and he's a great kid. I love him to death. He just made a bad decision in the heat of the moment, and he's going to serve a 2-game suspension from the Virginia High School League, not necessarily our punishment. And it's just things that we have to work on. We're winning some ball games, and we have to work on different attitude. We've got a great attitude as far as playing hard football and hitting hard, and we're getting flagged here and there for some penalties that are unnecessary, and we're in the midst of cleaning that up, and I feel confident that we will, and just play Colonel football and leave the referees, leave everyone else alone. Let's just be to ourselves and be a team, be a family, and get to that state, and not the individualism that we're seeing a little bit on our end.
Well, we'll transition to tonight's game. Obviously, it's a big one. This is the Subway pregame show here as the Altavista Colonels traveling down to take on the Gretna Hawks. Rain in the forecast tonight. I know when I've asked you this before, traditionally it doesn't change your game plan at all. Same story tonight. I mean, it's not going to affect what you guys do, is it?
No, it doesn't affect. Only if it's downpours so badly you can't grip the ball and do things like that. But as far as rain, we practiced in the rain so far this year, and no, it's not. Got to make sure the football's dry. You got to do some shorten your strides up a little bit when you're running the football. We got to see what kind of condition the field's in, and we go from there. But it's not a major deal.
Hawks come into this game winless, which is a rare thing to say about Gretna at this point in the year. But I think, as we all know, still a very dangerous football team. Correct?
No doubt about it. They first thing is they're playing Altavista. Altavista's playing Gretna, so it's going to be both sides extremely excited to get after each other, and sometimes that brings out the best. So we're not looking at an 0-4 team. We're looking at a team that's hungry for a win, playing its arch rival at their place, And then that's fine. We just got to worry about ourselves. We can't get too overhyped, which sometimes we do playing Gretna. We got to face it. It's another football team. It's a big game. It's a big rivalry game, and just play our football. Don't turn the ball over on offense. Try to create turnovers on defense, and stick to the blueprint that we've been doing this year. And that's pretty much what it is. We're creating turnovers. We're not turning the ball over much. And like I said earlier, and we gotta play a little smarter football with using our mouths a little less than we have been these last few games.
Yeah, I know you've said in the past sometimes these rivalry games are a big playoff game that you and your staff, sometimes you guys have gotten too hyped up in the past, and you said, you know, you think maybe that's one thing you've gotten better at as far as, hey, it's just another game, you know, obviously it is Gretna, but is that something you guys have been better at as far as the staff and the team handling these big games?
This football team has been last 3 or 4 years. They've handled this game just fine and played well in the football games. A couple years before that, it was a little too much emotion and it was counterproductive. And we haven't had that with this group here the last 3-4 years. And we look, to be that even keel and be extremely excited. No doubt about it. I mean, it's not just a regular game. But the kids will sleep well tonight and just stay low key during the day, hopefully, and be ready to play a great football game tonight.
Well, final thought here on the Subway pregame show before we let you go. A couple unsung heroes maybe for this team so far. Some guys that we haven't talked about. You know, we know the Thornhills and the Malbacks and the Johnsons and all those people. But name us 2 or 3 guys. Maybe it's just something they're doing in practice, or maybe it's just one play here or there. But name a couple guys that you've really been impressed with and maybe aren't getting their just due.
I think Trayvon Elliott's one individual. He came to us last year, transferred from William Campbell. This is his second year starting, and he's been a very solid offensive lineman, defensive lineman for us, and we, and it's up front is what matters. So that's one big part of our success has been the play up front, offensive line and defensive line, and defensively. We've had so many kids play big roles. It's hard to single some kids out, but we've been pleased with what Trayvon's brought to the table.
Big rivalry game against Gretna. You'll hear the kickoff live in about 20 minutes on the Subway pregame show on 105.5 KD Country.
Here's more specials from your area Apple Market convenience stores. 32-ounce fountain drink, only 89 cents. Large coffee and fresh baked donut or Mrs. Freshly snack cake, just $1.99. Dr. Pepper, 99 cents for the 2-liter size. And 8-piece chicken, now $7.99. Every day from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Apple Market locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. You know what they say, stop by the Apple today.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Lester Bond Field in Gretna, Virginia. Altavista taking on their big rival here tonight, Oscar, the Gretna Hawks. Not a long drive down here to Gretna. And you've seen across the way there's a lot of Altavista fans have made the trip. The visiting bleacher section is not as big as it is the home section over here, but Gretna's still got a good-sized home crowd, too. And you got to feel like the weather has deterred some fans from both teams.
Yeah, for about 30, 35 minutes, it was a nice little steady rain here, and it got really heavy for about 5 or 10 minutes. That's lightened up a little bit, and it's much better now. See some umbrellas up, but not as quite a big a crowd as you ordinarily would see with Gretna, but, you know, again, the weather and then the fact that they're 0-4 probably contribute to that.
Right. It's again, a Gretna team doesn't have a win yet to their credit, and that's hard to believe. But I think the other thing, Oscar, is it's a little misleading. You got to look at some of the teams that they've played this year. They open up the season with 3 straight road games at 3 very tough places. They go to Brookville, they lose 27-12. They lose at Tunstall, another one of their rivals, 17-0. And then they do get blown out against Heritage, but no pushovers on either of those 3 teams. They lose last week to Chatham, another rival. Again, that game, the closest game they've had all year. But again, this is not like Gretna's had a running clock every time in the second half tonight. There's been some close games, and there's been some games that could have gone either way, one play here or there.
No, and a Brookville team that's only lost 1, so Heritage team still to lose. So you got some, you know, traditional state powers there that they played against. And, you know, this is cliche, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to anyway. Anytime you have Gretna and Altavista to play, you know, you can kind of throw some of the records out the window. These kids play ball together, play basketball together. They live together. They a lot of contact, and it's a rivalry that rivals any interstate almost.
Excellent point, and Coach Sharness, you heard on the interview, echoed those sentiments along with some other things he said. We'll talk about some of that in a second. Subway pregame show is, of course, brought to you by Subways of Altavista. 2 great locations, Main Street and inside the Walmart on McClarion Road. Football fans can always eat fresh, and start fresh this fall with Subway's fresh fit choices. Smart, tasty choices make the fall the perfect time to start fresh, Oscar. And maybe a little bit of the story that we should be talking about here in the Subway pregame show is a couple guys that won't be here. Clydell Moon, of course, if you heard last week, suspended for a couple games. We'll get into that more in just a second. And then Gretna tonight will be without the guy that's been running their quarterback spot, Chris Hall. He's injured. He's not going to be available to go tonight. So obviously I think it's a little bit bigger deal for Gretna to lose your quarterback rather than lose a really good linebacker / running back. That's not to say that Clydell won't be missed, because he will be missed, but tough when you lose your first string quarterback.
Well, and let's face it, Kyle, Altavista's got some depth at that quarterback. I mean, you know, at the running back position and at the linebacker position. So, you know, I agree that it's going to hurt Gretna a little bit more than it will Altavista.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting scenario. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe not as big of a factor as we think it'll be. Rain starting to come down a little bit heavier again. And with that, we'll take another time out. When we come back on the Subway pregame show, maybe we'll talk about how the weather may or may not affect things here tonight. Kickoff about 12 minutes away. You're going to hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
GMC, come on in and bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
53 years of award-winning high school sports, Oscar Briggs. That's just not our opinion. That's the Virginia Association of Broadcasters' opinion. Large market, best sports coverage. 2 years in a row. But, hey, we couldn't do it without some great football. I think we're going to see it here tonight. I mentioned the weather. Let's get into the weather a little bit, Oscar. I mean, Coach Sharnas said in the interview, I asked him about it, he said, probably not going to affect us unless it's a complete downpour and you can't really grip the ball. Then we might change our play calling a little bit, that sort of thing. But I don't know. Right now it doesn't seem like that's the issue, but we will step aside. We'll get to that in a second. National anthem time here from Lester Bond Stadium. Kickoff right around the corner on 105.5 KD Country.
Our thanks to these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Robertson Auto Sales, Lynchburg. Dealers with a passion for great quality pre-owned vehicles. We love cars and trucks, and it shows in our inventory.
Aubrey Rouser, attorney at law, going above and beyond the courtroom. Your choice for any and all legal advice. Serving Altavista, Lynchburg, and Roanoke areas.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
Mad Betty's Antiques, 105 Wood Lane, just off of Main Street. Come find what you didn't know you were looking for.
Dairy Freeze, serving ice cream, yogurt, fries, hamburger, hot dogs, and fresh chili since 1961 from their Main Street location.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pads, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Perkins Tire and Auto Service in Chatham. And we do mean service because Perkins Tire will pick up and deliver your vehicle. Call Perkins Tire in Chatham, 434-432-1100, 432-1100. Whether you need brand name tires or service, call Calvin, Stanley, or Frankie at Perkins Tire and Service Center on Highway 29 in Tight Squeeze, just south of Chatham. Perkins Tire and Service Center, your authorized Michelin tire dealer.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels football returns here from Gretna, taking on the Hawks tonight. The old rivalry renewed, and Oscar, we were going to get into the weather. Now let's fully get into the weather. They were calling for thunderstorms at one point, and that kind of changes things. You don't want to be out there with the lightning. It's just rain. They'll go ahead and play through that, but it is going to affect some things at least a little bit.
You and I were both down on the field and earlier, and the field's wet. The grass is wet. The turf is actually in good condition. It's not muddy, slippery, but you'll see some players go down because of the grass. And with Altavista's speed, the conventional theory is that will affect Altavista worse than grass.
Yeah, I mean, that's the conventional way. I've heard that both ways. The old Hayden Fry, old Iowa football coach used to say it's raining on their side of the field too, isn't it? So he thought that was a little bit overrated, and he said, well, if you're faster than a team already, the rain's going to slow them down just as much as it slows you down, so you should still be that much faster. But not everybody agrees with that. Some people think, hey, if you got a grind them out type of offense, if you're running an I formation with a fullback and a tailback like Gretna is doing some this year, then maybe that benefits the team that's the 3 yards in the cloud of dust type of team.
Well, and let's face it, Altavista, their running backs are a little bit more deceptive, a little bit quicker, use a little bit more what we would call shifty running backs than you see as opposed to power. Now, Dustin can lower his head and go 3 or 4 yards with a cloud of dust as good as anybody can.
Yeah, I look back to that Hayside game last year. That was a track where it wasn't raining on us at all up there. In fact, it snowed a little bit, but the field was muddy. I mean, it was admittedly a mud bowl out there, and Altavista still prevails in that game against a team that was, like we said, a grind them out, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of straight-ahead running team.
Well, and the prognosticators and social media all said that Altavista was going to lose that game because of the condition of the field. Sure. Altavista showed that they could handle that, the elements. Or as a friend of mine says, you got to be able to play in all the elephants.
But with that friend of yours, is his mutter a mutter too? I'm sorry. Anyway, here we go. No, Oscar, you made a great point. The grass, the blades of grass are wet, but the turf underneath, it's not mushy or muddy or anything like that, at least not yet anyway. So we'll see how the field holds up. Traditionally, this has been a good field here at Lester Bond. I mean, they've played a lot of games in bad weather here over the years, particularly those late November, early December kind of games. So this field's been put under some stress. I think it'll hold up just fine. I think we'll hold up just fine thanks to our 2014 Altavista football sponsors, English Building Supply, featuring a $15 rebate on Pella Storm Doors. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Apple Auto Glass, get a free car wash when you have a new windshield installed. Select Air, Mechanical, and Electrical, your authorized Train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Perkins Tire and Auto Service, Highway 29 in Chatham. Call for free pickup and delivery. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Bench and Bench Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Apple Markets, check out the weekly specials at all 3 area locations. Fellers Chevrolet, short drive will save you money online at fellersdirect.com. They sponsor our YouTube rebroadcast as well. And El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place for family and friends to dine. Remember, if you're listening to us at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app, it's all brought to you by Chris Owen, your All-State agent in Lynchburg. Go online and search for Chris Owen today. Football fans are always in good hands with All-State agent Chris Owen, Oscar.
And after the game, we'll be doing our Chris Owen All-State Player of the Game. So that's always fun.
The good hands of word I like to call it. Of course, at some point, Subway halftime or post-game show, we'll do the Win with Subway promotion. Of course, this season, you can win with Subway and KD Country. We're going to give you the code word. All you got to do is post that code word to our Facebook page. First person that does so wins a foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subway in Altavista. So if you're not a fan of us on Facebook, you got to go ahead and get that out of the way first. Do that now, and then you got your chance to win later on with the code word.
And I can tell you the code word, but it won't be. It won't be interception because I made a gaffe last week and we doubled up and used it 2 weeks in a row. So.
It was interesting. I think the week before that at Galax, you told me you made your first mistake of the season. So you're up to 2 now, right?
That's 2 now. I made 2 in one game. That was 3.
All right, 3. Still very good.
Still less than 1 a game.
Absolutely. It's both teams are, well, excuse me, not both teams. The Colonels are still waiting to break their little spirit line. The banner is still intact. They're going to run through it. And Colonels, again, have been known to take their time and let the drama play out, if you will, in the pregame portion of things. Out the Gretna Hawks, they're on their sideline already. And they are ready to go. Again, they'll be without Chris Hall tonight, their quarterback. He was a first-year quarterback and a very a good athlete who had been coming into his own at the quarterback spot, according to head coach Cole Simpson. So it's going to hurt not having him tonight, Oscar.
It will. And, of course, those of you who don't remember Altavista last year, Gretna came to Altavista, went up late, scored with about a minute and a half left, went up by 1 on a 2-point conversion. Altavista drove down the field, got the ball to the 3-yard line, and just couldn't convert on the field goal, ended up losing by 1. It was the sole loss last year for the Colonels, and boy, they want to avenge that loss, Kyle.
They really do. You know, it's the last time Altavista has lost. They've rattled off one of the longer winning streaks in the state right now at 14 games. And you certainly want to avenge that loss. Obviously, it's a different year. There are some different characters out there on the cast, but for the most part, Altavista's got pretty much the same ball club. No disrespect to those seniors who graduated last year. But for the most part, all these guys remember that sting, and they want to get that back. And, again, one of the finer ball games you'll ever see last year, that game at Altavista coming down to the wire like that. Year before that, of course, Altavista came down here. Last time we were in Gretna was the first time the Colonels had beaten the Hawks in a while. That was back in 2012, and that was a great game, too. 35-14. Altavista really pulled away at the end, but another fine ball game there.
Yeah, and, you know, we've alluded to it. This has the potential to be the same type of ball game. social media, somebody had rattled off on one of the social media pages that, last time that there was one of the teams was as heavily favored. Gretna came in to Altavista and was heavily favored, and it was a 12-6 overtime win for Gretna.
Yeah.
You've always got that potential. And
remember that.
We could see that tonight.
And that was back in the day when the Colonels weren't winning many games, and Gretna was winning AA state championships. So that one, really did shock everybody. The Colonels played really admirably that night, just couldn't pull it out in overtime. And it looks like the coin toss has been settled, and the Hawks have won the coin toss, and they'll defer to the second half. So that's 2 weeks in a row that the Colonels have lost the toss. Normally they're pretty good.
That puts them actually at 2-3, Kyle. So it's really the third week in a row that they've lost. And for the last week, Appomattox. But anyway, Altavista is going to get the ball. They'll be moving from right to left on your radio dial, as you like to say, unless you've got a digital dial.
Digital, like I said, you're always going up on the digital radio. That's for sure. Yeah, Colonels. Last week, 46-7 with the victory over Appomattox. You heard Coach Sharnson and I talk about it. Looked like the Raiders were building some momentum, and then Michi Malbeck with the interception there, the 95-yard interception return at the end of the first half. That pretty much put that one in the books for the Colonels, and they do come in at 4-0. Hawks 0-4. And this is, again, in the midst of a very tough stretch for Altavista. Dan River next week. That's never easy taking on the Wildcats. Wildcats in action, by the way, tonight against another Pittsylvania County rival. They are taking on the Chatham Cavaliers tonight. We'll see Chatham further on down the road as well.
Well, and this was the same stretch we talked about last year with Galax, Appomattox, Gretna, and Dan River.
This is going to conclude the Subway pregame show. Remember, big or small, Subway can cater your party, office, meeting, whatever it is. Box lunches, sandwich platters, cookie trays. The options are really endless. Call Robert at 369-2366 and let Subway handle your next event. We're going to be talking about another stuff later on, another member of the Duff family later on. Well, we'll save that for the Subway halftime show. Apple Market first quarter is about to get underway here from Gretna High School.
And we'll do our best to keep stats coming to you. We're in a little bit of an awkward situation up in the press box, but we'll bring you the best coverage we can. Kyle's got a little bit better view than I do.
A little bit.
I've been put in the corner.
And not the first time.
Absolutely not the first time.
Good crowd up here in the Gretna press box. And, again, you scan across the way at the Altavista section of the bleachers. They've brought a lot of fans. It's not raining right now. The temperature is going to cool down as the night goes on. They're talking about only of a high of about 60 or 62 this weekend, and the low might even get down into the low 40s in some places in the KD Country listening area this weekend. So that would be a drastic change from what we have been going through. The days of the upper 70s and 80s weather appear to be going by the wayside maybe. Hawks get ready to start it off. Going to kick here with Andrew Williams has the ball teed up. He's got the ball teed up on the near side hash mark here, so they're going to use the field maybe to their advantage. Low line drive kick gets fielded on about the 30-yard line and gets turned up by Donovan Montague. He crosses the 40 and the 42, finally drops around the 43. Moves the old swift kick. It really just sort of one-hop low to Donnie, and he fielded it like a shortstop and then proceeded to take off running right up the middle.
Well, and the thing about Altavista is they got their field, their up backs are Donovan Montague and Destin Brown.
Yeah.
So, boy, that's a threat there as well.
Right. I mean, that's the conventional wisdom is let's kick it short to keep it away from the other team's playmakers. But what if the other team has playmakers at the up back spot, too? What do we do then? I don't know. That's a puzzle that all the opponents for the Colonels have to solve. Thornhill going to run the first play from scrimmage at the 44-yard line. Turns and hands it to Destin Brown. Brown going right behind the center up the gut. He's got about 4 yards. He's got about 5 yards driving. He's finally cut down to about the 50-yard line right there. Bunch of Hawks in on the play. Looked like Isaac Kuhn, number 30, might have been one of the guys to get up off the pile, along with number 16, Austin Kuhn. Looked like they were both in on that stop there for the Hawks. It is a good solid 5.5-yard pickup. Altavista's got to get to the 46-yard line, so we'll call it 2nd and 4. Still no score early here. The Apple Market first quarter, 11:25 left to play. Thornhill shotgun snap. Wants to keep this for himself. Got some room to run off left tackle. Turns it up, going down the left sideline. Now he's still got some room to run. Still on his feet. He ran out of 3 or 4 tackles. He's across the 10-5, diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Juan Thornhill. Early and incredible Oscar. It looked like he was going to be stopped with about a 4 or 5-yard gain. He just kept running through tackles. Impressive stuff and good downfield blocking again by the Colonel's receivers.
Well, and we've seen Juan do this year, and he doesn't just rely on his speed. He's really he's really raised his football IQ, and he really was patient, continued to let the players block downfield for him, pick his holes, and he had to pick 4 or 5. They continued to do a good job. Juan dove for the pylon. Nice touchdown from Thornhill. Great. Colonels lead 6-0.
Absolutely. Walker Allen in on to try the extra point play. Started around left tackle. He broke it outside once, cut it back inside around the seam. Up the hash mark there, and at that point it was pretty much all she wrote. Walker Allen, first extra point attempt of the night is good. Colonels have raced out to a 7-0 lead early. 11-12 still to go here in the Apple Market first quarter. Colonels on top after a Juan Thornhill touchdown run. Timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
For a storm door that offers style and convenience, come to English's Building Supply in Altavista for a Pella self-storing storm door. These doors feature screens that are always there when you need them, and Pella's self-storing storm doors are backed by Pella's lifetime storm door protection plan. Come by English's Building Supply. See the full line of Pella storm doors.
English's is your complete home center.
Get a $15 mail-in rebate during October.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels take the early lead, 7-0 over the Gretna Hawks. It was Altavista's second play from scrimmage, Oscar Briggs, and it was a 50-yard Juan Thornhill touchdown run. Again, showcases some nice moves, and like you said, really got the football IQ in high regard, because he almost didn't ever get going full speed until the last little breakout to the pylon there, the last 15 yards of that run or so. He was just trying to find angles and trying to find spaces, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, 2 plays, Kyle, 54 yards, 44 seconds off the clock, and it culminated with that Juan Thornhill 50-yard touchdown run.
And again, first quarter is brought to you by Apple Market. 3 convenient locations in Altavista, Gateway, Main Street, and Riverside. There's always an Apple Market close by, even one here in Gretna on the way home from the game. If you and I want to stop there, Oscar, but I think Oscar might be headed the other direction tonight, but maybe more of that later. 11-12 left to go in the first quarter. Colonels with a 7-0 lead. Walker Allen going to do the kickoff duties again, but he's got to reset the football on the tee as it fell off. There's a little bit of wind out there. It's not gusting or anything. Back deep to return for the Gretna Hawks. It looks like Keandre Clements, and he's joined by Andrew Wilson on the far side. Their heels are about the 2-yard line, which is, I'd say, about the average of where Walker tends to drop them. It's either there or in the end zone.
Well, this is, if he doesn't get it deep, ball just fell off the tee, but if he doesn't get it deep, this is one of the places where you've got Woodruff filling in, that usually Clydell's in. He's usually the one that goes down and busts up that wedge.
Sure.
Usually one of the first players downfield, so it'll be interesting to see how the Colonels cover this kickoff.
This could be absolutely a place that, possibly, maybe Gretna can score some points. Or if not score some points, maybe you get a big return here, but we'll see. Allen with the run up, boots it away. It's high. It won't get to the end zone. It'll get fielded by Wilson on about the 5-yard line. He's going to start out right up the middle. Altavista's coverage looks good, and he is dropped down by number 34, Traquan Farmer. Farmer was the first guy on the scene. He makes the stop after a decent return. It looks like Wilson did get it past the 20-yard line. I think they'll end up spotting it on the 21. Hawks will start there, middle of the field. Again, they are going left to right on the radio dial from our perspective.
And that is one of the situations where he cut, and his feet just went out from under him on the wet grass. Again, it's not a turf situation. It doesn't appear to be.
No, I think, again, Farmer was there applying the pressure for the Colonels, and even on a dry field, Traquan Farmer probably brings him down, but he's got a little bit better chance to avoid the tackle. Shotgun formation for the Hawks this side. 2 receivers each side. They'll swing out to Wilson again. Wilson hit low by Michi Malback, and then brought down with some help by number 4, Devontae Clark. Good 2-man tackling right there by those 2 guys. Malback hit him low. Clark hit him up a little higher to clean him up. They'll call it a 1-yard loss early for the Gretna Hawks. It looks like Javon Bennett back there at the quarterback spot for Gretna, and that's a familiar name for Altavista sports fans.
And interesting that they chose to pass first time, first down, first play of the game.
Bennett's going to keep it this time on the quarterback run, trying to go behind left tackle. Forges ahead, finally brought down by a gang tackle from the Altavista Colonels. Look like Dante Poindexter getting off the pile. Called about a 5-yard gain, though, for Javon Bennett on that one. Good hard running again, right off left tackle there. Good surge by the left side of that Gretna O-line.
And you're right, Bennett is a name that we've called often in these last 3 years against Gretna.
3rd and 5 coming for the Hawks. Bennett, hard snap count, going to look over the defense. Now looking to the sideline. Coach Simpson maybe changing the play right here. 10:04 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. Altavista leading 7-0. Bennett wants to run again. Not much there this time. He stopped. He might have gotten a 1-yard gain out of it, but not much else. Looked like Darius Johnson there, first guy to make the stop, and also big number 56, Trayvon Elliott. You heard Coach Sharnes talking about Elliott, putting together a nice year so far, and it looks like that stop will bring up a punting situation for the Hawks. 4th and 3, and back in their own territory here on the 29-yard line. Probably the right call to kick this one away, although you never know. There is always the big possibility.
Andrew Williams was getting on some nice punts earlier before the game started.
9:26 left to go in the game. Snap gets back there. Took a while. Malback is on the 40. This ball bounced out of bounds right on about. It didn't go out of bounds. It stayed in, Oscar. Malback will feel it on the 35, and he is thrown backwards to the 29-yard line. Michi tried to take a chance there on the bounce. I honestly thought the ball went out of bounds, but the referee was right there, and it stayed in. Michi knew that it stayed in as well, but the Gretna punt coverage, very good, as they had 4 guys on him right as he picked it up.
Very good coverage. Altavista sent 10 players trying to get the block. And, of course, Michi never met a ball he didn't like, and he couldn't take it to the end zone, so I picked it up and lost 6 yards promptly.
Yeah, they'll spot this ball, left hash mark. We'll call it the 25-yard line. 9:15 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. It's a 7-0 Altavista Colonel lead. Thornhill's got a bunch formation to his left. He's got the running back to his right. He hands it to Destin Brown. Brown slips and falls down. He is tackled in the backfield there. Not a lot of room to go, and a good surge up front. Looked like Khalil Witcher-Heyman on the stop for the Gretna Hawks, and it looked like also Isaac Kuhn there again from that defensive end spot, helping out on the stop. They'll call it 2nd and 13 now for Altavista.
Lost the 3. Nice job by Gretna getting some penetration.
Colonel's in the road white jerseys. Got the black and orange trim, going with the orange pants with the black and white trim. Black helmet with the orange A. Gretna in the home blue and gold tonight. Thornhill's going to try outside to his right side. Turns it up the seam there. He's outside the numbers. Now he's towards the sideline. He'll run it out of bounds under his own momentum. No more room to gain over there, but it is a big pickup. Solid 10 or 11-yard gain there for the quarterback, Juan Thornhill. As he goes out of bounds, it'll bring up a 3rd down situation. 8:33 left to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Colonel lead.
Looks like they're going to give him a gain of 9 on that foul.
Again, there wasn't a whole lot of room there for Juan. He was patient, and he turned it up the hash mark, broke it outside again. And at that point, the defensive secondary from Gretna started to converge on him, so he just ran it out of bounds wisely. No need in risking any physical punishment or even a fumble at that. 3rd and 3 coming up here. Thornhill's got it back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Going to snap this from the right hash mark. They hand it to Michi Malback, who went in motion. Michi diving in and out of tackles, trying to find some room. He is short, stopped short. Did pick up 1 or 2, but he's short of the first down marker. They needed to get to the 44-yard line. Excuse me. He didn't. He's not as short as I thought he was. He's only about inches short. Altavista's going to line up and go for it on 4th down. We'll see if Juan Thornhill gets under center. He does. Tight splits up front by the O-line. Juan surges ahead on the quarterback keeper, and he's got more than enough for a first down. He dove it across the 45, maybe even got it to the, he dove it across the 35. He may have gotten it to the 36-yard line. Anyway, it is a first down pickup there. Heady play there by Juan Thornhill. He lined up his offense quick, got under center, didn't take a lot of time, and just dove ahead with the forward momentum.
And nice job by that offensive line.
The O-line, I think, probably hasn't gotten the credit they deserve, Oscar, especially for the amount of new guys. But we'll get into that a little bit more as we go on. 3 receivers to Juan's left. They're going to run left. Option play coming right here. Juan's going to keep it. Going out of bounds. He's up the left sideline. Oh, he's pushed a little bit, but he stays on his feet. And it's, an 8 or 9-yard pickup for Juan Thornhill. Boy, he gains the yardage really deceptively, doesn't he, Oscar? Because, again, he's never really going full speed until he has to. It's like a race car driver that wants to conserve the gas mileage, so he can make a late push. That's what Juan does, and then when he does make that late push, boy, he's hard to catch when he gets full speed.
Boy, it's 2nd in the inches, and you're absolutely right. He is a Ferrari.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Bunch formation to the right this time for the Colonel. Thornhill's got it back to his right. He wants to roll out that way. Passing play, steps up in the pocket, avoids some pressure. Going to throw. He's got them all back over the middle. Complete on the 30-yard line. He's going to turn it up. Left sideline. Don't think anybody's going to catch him. Nope. Touchdown. Altavista Colonels Juan Thornhill. A 49-yard passing play to Michi Malback. Michi caught it on the 30. He took one step back and then went immediately to the left sideline, saw that nobody had an angle on him, took it to the left pylon, and then the end zone after that. Another score for the Altavista Colonels. They lead 13-0, extra point on the way. Juan has thrown a 50-yarder, and now he's run for a 50-yarder, now he's thrown a 50-yarder.
They were on the 45-yard line, 55-yard pass, Kyle, and he had his pick of receivers there, and really, Michi was in the midst of, he got behind him. Extra point pending here. Walker Allen lined up.
Yeah, hold by Thornhill.
And it's good.
That'll make it a 14-0 lead. Colonel's starting to roll. We've still got 7:31 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. Quick timeout, and the Colonels will kick it away again here on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Football fans, if you ever miss a game or just want to hear it again, follow the link at kdcountry.com to our YouTube page, and you can relive the excitement on demand. It's all brought to you by Fellers Chevrolet. And, boy, I tell you, that kind of excitement, Oscar, I might want to relive on demand. Juan Thornhill rolled to his right momentarily, stepped up in the pocket, avoided one pass rush, lofted it over the middle to Michi Malback, who had gotten behind the defense just a little bit. Michi actually had to come back for the pass. But, boy, once he caught it, like I said, once he saw that the left sideline was open, nobody stopped him from there in the end zone.
Had to make a little bit of a curl back to get it around that two Gretna defenders, but it was obvious they weren't going to catch him either.
The speed of Altavista, particularly Michi Malback, was something that concerned Cole Simpson, head coach of the Gretna Hawks, coming into the game. And I think it concerns everybody that Altavista plays. I mean, let's face it. Allen on to try another kickoff here for the night. This one's going to land on about the 5-yard line as well. Gretna returner's going to take it up the left hash marks. He's got a convoy of blockers in front of him. Now finally dragged down. A little bit of a modified suplex there by the Altavista tackler. Hard to see on that far sideline over here. We got a little bit of a glare because of the lights and the rain. So Wayne Short getting off the bottom of that pile. Oscar, may have been him on the stop.
It was Wayne Short. It looks like Traquan Farmer stood him up as well.
Wayne Short was another guy that, we saw him play big-time role there in the playoff run last year, and Coach Sharness has complimented him a couple times this season on the quality of football that Short has been playing. Javon Bennett lined up in the quarterback spot again. He's got three receivers to his right. He'll hand it off to the running back. Not going anywhere, though. The Colonel defensive line is going to shut this one down in the backfield. Big Dante Poindexter on the stop. Donovan Montague was there to help him out, but I think Dante didn't need a whole lot of help on that tackle for a loss.
Boy, Destin Brown was there as well. And you get Destin Brown and Dante Poindexter meeting you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're not going to run through those guys too often. Percentages on that are not good. And they're hard to block up front as well. Wayne Short is in the game right now playing the nose tackle spot. It looks like Dante Poindexter lined up beside him at a defensive tackle. Colonels have got 5 down linemen up front, 2 linebackers. Bennett will swing it out to the right on the passing play. It's complete, but there's not a whole lot there. Getting run backwards by Devontae Clark and Michi Malback. That was number 15, Rayshawn Taylor, on the grab, and there wasn't, again, a whole lot that he could do because Malback and Clark were there immediately as he caught the ball.
Well, and Devontae did a great job playing off that block. The wide receiver had him stood up. He played him off and was first to get there. We're starting to see Devontae coming to his own. He's starting to become a force and really performing well here in his senior year.
Couldn't agree more. He missed the entire last season because of a knee injury, and he is coming into his own. Now 3rd and long here for the Gretna Hawks. Bennett wants to throw. Pump fake, now clutched out of the pocket. Good move there by Bennett to buy some time. He'll loft this one up down the sideline. He's got a receiver that got behind the defense, and it looks like it's caught at the 50-yard line, 49-yard line. Check that. And it is complete to Andrew Wilson. Bennett didn't get a lot on the throw, but Wilson slipped behind the Altavista defense. It's more than enough for a Gretna Hawk first down there, Oscar. Hawks moved the chain, and again, nice pump fake by Bennett to buy some time and help himself get out of the pocket.
And he froze Juan. Juan is back playing the safety position and froze Juan, and really nice play by Gretna.
And again, Von Bennett, one of the all-time great athletes to come through Gretna. He's a great receiver normally for the Hawks, but this time pressed into service as a quarterback. He's going to take it and sprint out to his right on the quarterback sweep. Not a whole lot there. Solo tackle cut down by Michi Malback, and Malback gives a little signal to the bench and to the crowd, and I don't think the officials really like that too much. No flag, but he did go over there and tell Michi, hey, none of that. It's something you see an NFL cornerback do. Oh, they do it just about on every play in the NFL, but Michi with a great solo tackle nonetheless.
You heard me gasp because, can't afford that to happen either.
Brings up 2nd and 11. 1 yard loss there in the running play for Von Bennett. Looks over the defense. Got a back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. They'll snap this one from the near side. Hash mark, 48-yard line. Altavista defense got everybody around the line of scrimmage. Just one linebacker and then one back deep at the safety. Tackle there is going to be in the backfield for the Altavista Colonels. It was a running play. Handoff play went nowhere. Big Trayvon Elliott, first man on the stop. Darius Johnson was there as well. Donnie Montague helping out on the stop. There was a lot of people around that one out here.
Yeah, you're right. Big Trayvon Elliott got a hold of you first, though. And when he gets a hold of you, he's not turning loose.
Not at all. 14-0 lead right here for the Altavista Colonels. 4:39 left to play in the Apple Market first quarter. 3rd and 14 coming for Gretna. They picked up their last third down play. Hard snap count by Bennett. It's going to draw Altavista off. We'll see if anybody from Gretna moved early, though. Flags come out. The officials talk it over. I think this one's going against Altavista. It is. Good job using the snap count there by the Hawks. It'll alleviate some of the pressure on this third down play, make it 3rd and 9 or 8.5 maybe. 4:32 left to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Again, it is a 14-0 Altavista Colonel lead.
And Gretna's done a good job tonight so far.
I think so. Obviously, they've given up the big play defensively, but offensively, they've showcased some things, and they've been able to move the ball at times. They'll put a man in motion over here to the near side, take the handoff to him. Bennett will keep it. Bennett hard running up the middle. He knocked the Colonel defender on his butt. I think it was Destin Brown that got knocked over. Bennett's going to come up well short of the first down marker. Hard running, and Bennett actually comes up limping a little bit. I think he took some damage from that blow as well. But, man, hard running from Von Bennett, and credit the Colonel's defense just to be able to bring him down. He got a full head of steam. It didn't look like he wanted to be stopped.
No, he certainly plowed over Destin Brown, and you don't see that very often at all. And I'm kind of surprised. 4th down from the Colonel's 46 at their punt formation here.
Hawks look like they are going to punt it away. Michi Malback back deep to field in the 20. High snap gets back there. It took a while. Colonel's had some rushing on. This is a good kick. It's going to go out of bounds on about the 20-yard line. So successful punt there by the Gretna Hawks. Looks like Josh Arthur doing the punting duties, Oscar. Or was it number 80?
It was 89.
I'm sorry, Andrew Williams. He goes to show what I know. Good kick, though, by Williams, even though I misidentified him there. 3:33 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. Colonel's leading 14-0. They'll start their third drive on the 15-yard line is actually where that ball went out of bounds.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention we were in royalty in the press box. So we have any shields on the clock beside us for Gretna. That's royalty.
That's how you know when you work with true professionals. That means something. Because again, we're not professionals in any sense of the word. They'll hand it off to Destin Brown. Brown hard running up the middle. Waist tackle will bring him down. He picks up about 1. Rain starts to fall down a little more heavily here too, Oscar. So we'll see how this plays out. You can always, it's hard to tell in the press box, but when you see the umbrellas go back up and out, that's how you know it's starting to rain a little bit harder. Now you can see it some. I call about 2nd and 8. They gave Destin a little bit more on the progress than I thought.
Gretna's done a good job of containing Destin so far, again, certainly, but Destin not been able to break free yet.
Certainly have. Colonel's 2 receivers to each side. Destin Brown right behind the quarterback, Juan Thornhill. Juan's going to put a man in motion. It looks like Woodruff. They'll hand it off to Destin Brown again. They're not containing Brown on this one. He's across the 30, the 35, the 40, the 50. Brown's going down the left sideline. Nobody is going to catch him. Nobody's within 10 yards. Touchdown Altavista Colonels. Destin Brown on the long touchdown run right there. We'll call it a 78-yard scoring run from Destin Brown. Colonels put a man in motion. That drew the attention of some of the Hawks defense. Good blocking up front, and Destin was gone as the rain starts to pour down here at Gretna.
Yeah, and I just made the comment that they've done a good job containing him, and I guess you can't keep him under wraps all night. And boy, he busted through. And if you don't know, Destin, he was in the state finals in the 1A last year in the 100 meters, 100 yards. So
if you don't,
he's going to get away from you.
Right. If you don't have a couple steps or at least an angle on him, you're not going to be able to run him down. You're not going to gain any ground on him, that's for sure. Walker Allen on to try his third extra point of the night. It's a 20-0 lead for the Altavista Colonels. Still 2:43 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. Snaps a little low. Juan's going to have to try and run for it. We've seen this before. He's looking in the end zone to pass. Lost his footing for a minute. He's still on his feet. He's back around the 15-yard line. Juan with plenty of time and room to throw. Going to go to the end zone, complete to Demetrius Johnson on the 2-point conversion. Donnie Montague caught that ball, but the flag comes out. Let's see who it's on.
And you know, if you're Gretna, obviously if it's against Altavista, it was an ineligible receiver downfield, they'll take that penalty. If Gretna gets a retry, then lo and behold, they'll kick the extra point.
Right.
But we'll take the 2 points back.
It was, the 2-point pass play was complete. And again, it was not designed. Ball was low. Juan tried to put it on the block, but I think he actually lost the grip when the ball hit the wet grass. Then he did the wise thing. He picked it up and tried to run for it. He saw that wasn't there, so he backpedaled his way out of that, ran it out to the 15-yard line, cut it back middle of the field, and found Montague open. But they had the ineligible player downfield. One of those linemen doing the blocking got downfield trying to throw a block, probably because they thought Juan was going to run for it. 2:43 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. It's a 20-0 lead, so as Oscar said, extra point, going to get tried all over again. Back it up just 5 yards, going to get snapped from the 8 now. Juan's got the block right on the 10. Walker Allen gets the kick. This time the snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. 21-0. Colonels out to a 3-touchdown lead. Timeout here on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
21-0 lead here from Gretna High School. The Altavista Colonels have raced out in front. A Juan Thornhill rushing touchdown, a Juan Thornhill passing touchdown, and a Destin Brown rushing touchdown. And Oscar, things going the Colonels' way so far. And let's send a shout-out to our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, could we? Because she worked quite a little bit of overtime here in the pregame on this one. Didn't exactly work out for us, but her and, of course, our executive producer, Elizabeth Haney, who said this broadcast needs more Hayden Fry references. So she gave me the okay to start doing that as much as I want.
What about Hayden Fox?
Hayden Fox. We need some Hayden Fox references, too. Dauber and Luther as well. But we digress, as usual. Colonels starting to have their way with the Hawks so far here early. But, again, it is early. Still 2:43 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. Rain seems to be lessening a little bit as I see some of the umbrellas starting to go away. Allen on the run up here for his fourth kickoff of the night. This one will land again on about the 5-yard line. Wilson's got it. Going to take it right up the middle. This time he'll turn it outside just a little bit. Tackled and brought down on the 22-yard line there. And it was number 28 for the Altavista Colonels, Chancellor Mormon on the stop. Good job, Chancellor Mormon, getting down there in the kick coverage unit. Ty Woodruff was available as well if he got through Mormon.
And Woodruff, of course, is a senior. Chancellor Mormon, we're starting to call his name more and more as well, Kyle.
We are really coming to his own as a football player, and there's a lot of guys for these Colonels that do a lot of big things on special teams.
Just a sophomore.
Yep. Looks like Gretna will switch the formation up a tad, maybe going to the I formation. They will. Von Bennett's going to get under center. Big split between the center and the right guard. A lot of a gap right there. Left tackle moved early for Gretna. That'll set them back 5 yards on the false start penalty. It was an I formation. That's what I was getting at there. Fullback, tailback right behind Von Bennett. We'll see if they do the same thing here after the penalty. It'll make it first and 15.
And that's been the predominant formation that they've used this year. They've done some wildcat and some wing and whatever, but they generally do that I formation. It's been their bread and butter so far this year.
Colonels have been known to go to the I formation, although we haven't seen any this year. They'll do it again. They give it to the tailback, trying to go right tackle. Not a whole lot there. Hit hard and dropped by the Altavista Colonel defense. That was number 21, Jaquan Logan. Got it back to the line of scrimmage. Not much else. Helmet comes off for Destin Brown, so he's got to come out for at least a play. And I think it was Brown laying the wood to Logan.
It was.
Might have been why the helmet popped off.
Exactly what happened. He did lay the wood to a nice tackle by Dustin. So it's second and about 14.
And again, this linebacking core is without Clyde L. Moon. We'll talk about Clyde some here at halftime. I think he and the rest of the Colonels would probably prefer just to move on from the under center again is Gretna I formation, one tight end. They give it to Logan again. This time he's got a little more room along the left side, brought down by Darius Johnson. Also Devontae Clark in on the stop as well. Another 1 yard pickup. This time he had to go a little bit further outside. It'll bring up 3rd and 12 or 13, Oscar.
Yeah, and then Mickey Malvac in on that tackle too. And it looked like he was going to get to the edge and get to the corner, but the pursuit from Altavista is just so strong.
Yeah, it's that pursuit, you know, and the thing is, if you block a guy momentarily, it's hard to block any of these Colonels for longer than, 1 or 2 seconds. So once they get off that block, they're immediately back into the pursuit again. They start to run you down. So it's a tough proposition for opposing offenses. Hawks will have 3rd and 12 from the far hash mark. Need to get to about the 34-yard line. Bennett's going to throw over the middle. Slant play looks like it's complete. Receiver falls down after the catch. That's number 15, Rashawn Taylor. It was a 7 or 8 yard pickup, but well short of the necessary first down yardage. Bring up another 4th down. Let's see if the Hawks elect to punt it away again. This time they are going to go for it, Oscar. So maybe the biggest play of the game right here for Gretna. If they could pick this up and get some momentum going, we'll see. Looked like Bennett wanted to go with the hard snap count again. Didn't work. Hawks will call a timeout. So it looks like maybe they'll punt it away after the timeout. We'll see, though. We'll take the timeout with them. Altavista leading 21-0 over the Gretna Hawks on 105.5 KD Country.
Here's more monthly specials from your area Apple Markets. All meat quarter-pound jumbo hot dogs and 32-ounce fountain drink for $1.99. Gatorade 2 for $3, 32-ounce size. Red Bull 2 for $4, 8.4-ounce cans. Quench your thirst with Nestle's Pure Life Water, 20-pack for $3.99. There's more specials at the Apple Markets on Riverside Drive, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. Remember what they say. Stop by the Apple today.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
4th down on the way for the Gretna Hawks. They made it look like they were going to go for it, but they called the timeout, and they will now bring out the punt team, Oscar, and that's for the shot. You know, you can try and draw the other team offside. And remember, it did work earlier for Gretna, so can't fault them for trying. 21-0, Colonel's lead, looking to get the ball back on a punt. Ball back, standing on about the 40. They kick it away. Michi's going to field this one on the air on the 45-yard line. No room to go. Back ran into his own player and bounced out of bounds at the 50. So 5-yard pickup. What is that net, Oscar? I'm just kidding. I said we weren't going to do that anymore. Said we weren't going to do that anymore. Colonels will start this one right on the 50-yard line. 37 seconds left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. And you know what they say, visit the Apple every day. Colonels lead 21-0. Thornhill's got a rushing touchdown. Thornhill's got a passing touchdown. And Destin Brown has a 78-yard rushing touchdown.
Plays of touchdown plays of 50, 55, and 78 yards foul.
Plenty of material for the Highview halftime highlights, but we'll see. Could see something else in the meantime. Shotgun formation with the back right behind him. Juan will hand it to Michi Malvac. Malvac going nowhere, and he got dropped. One man hit him low, one man hit him high, and neither one was letting him gain even an inch. Austin Kuhn, the man breaking through the O-line there, making the stop for the Gretna Hawks. Total loss of 2 on the rushing play for Altavista.
And clock is winding down to 14 seconds. Play getting called in. I don't believe they'll get it off 10-9.
Don't look to be in any hurry, yeah. Coach Sharnis now, I think, does want him to go. We're down to 2 seconds. Juan's still looking at the clock. They're not going to get it off. A little bit of disorganization, maybe, or it was possibly by design. But either way, the Altavista Colonels will switch ends of the field, and they'll go into the second quarter with a 21-0 lead. We'll take a timeout as well. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Lester Bond Field, Gretna High School is the site. The Altavista Colonels are on hand. We're so glad you could join us here on 105.5 KD Country. We know maybe the rain kept some folks at home, and when you know you have the option of listening to it on the radio, Oscar, it is nice to say, well, I don't want to go sit out there in the wet bleachers and the cold and the wind, etc. I'll just stay home and listen to it. We do appreciate the folks that do that. You're hearing the Altavista Colonels jump out to a 21-0 lead there after one quarter of play.
And the stats confirm that Altavista was 149 on the ground, 55 through the air, total of 204 yards. Gretna was 7 on the ground, the big pass play of 21 yards. Was actually longer than that. They've had some little screens that they've lost yards, but a total of 28 yards, so 204 to 28, Kyle.
Yeah, Gretna had the one very good passing play on a third down that picked them up some first down yardage, kept the chains moving. There's been some flashes of running plays there. I remember Von Bennett had the good run on third down that was short of a first down pickup.
When Von Bennett's he's an athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a very, very good athlete. Incredible out there on the basketball court. Very good here on the football field. Playing safety right now as well. Thornhill's got them all back right behind him again. 3 receivers to the right. They'll toss it to Michi this time. Michi headed to the right sideline. Stiff arms a man down, turns it upfield, lowers his shoulder a bit, stays on his feet as he's run out of bounds. He had Demetrius Johnson lead blocking for him. We'll call it a 4.5 yards pickup, maybe closer to, well, depends on where they spot it now after this. Not even that. It's actually about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, they're going to spot that right at the 49-yard line, a gain of 2, and brings up third and almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah. 3rd and 11.
He brought it over here to the near sideline. Hard to see because the Gretna bench is right in front of us. I couldn't tell right where he stepped out.
11:52 remaining here in the second quarter. Colonels lead 21-0.
2 receivers each. Now they'll make it 3 receivers to the left side. That's the far side, wide side of the field as well. Thornhill, leg kick, going to get the snap. Chest high, catches it, wants to throw. Rolling to his left, going to look deep. He's got Darius Johnson deep to call about the 20-yard line. Darius trying to run out of a tackle, still on his feet. He's dropped it at 10. Wow. A third down pickup plus some, Oscar. Long passing play. 40-yard throw and catch right there from Thornhill to Darius Johnson. Good job by Darius going up and getting it, too, and then running for an extra 10.
The coverage was there. Juan threw it to him as a nice pass. Nice coverage by Gretna, but just Johnson just too strong. And we've alluded to it before, that wingspan that the Johnson kids have. They're 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", but the wingspan of a 6'7" kid.
That's exactly right. He was being covered by number 2, Keandre Clements, who is listed at 5'7". So Clements given up some size there, and maybe that was a part of the reason why Johnson made the big play. Wide receiver in motion. They don't give it to him. They keep it with Thornhill. Thornhill surging ahead. Not a whole lot there. He ran into his own blockers. Then he ran into the Gretna defense. Maybe a 1-yard pickup. Maybe not even that. 21-0 is the Colonel lead here. 11:25 left to go in the Apple Market first quarter. Juan a little bit slow to get up, but he's fine. He just had to wait for everybody to unpile off of him. 9-yard line looks to be the spot. It's 2nd and goal coming up for the Altavista Colonels. Thornhill and everybody else looking over to the sideline. He's got Destin Brown in the backfield with him. He'll set the offense. Looks like Montague in there to tight end spot. Demetrius Johnson split out wide to the right, and 2 wide receivers to the left. Juan doesn't like the play. He's going to call a timeout. Probably a smart thing to do. We'll take the timeout with him. Altavista over Gretna, 21-0. You're hearing it all on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Second quarter action returns here from Gretna High School. It's the Altavista Colonels taking on the Gretna Hawks. You're hearing it live on 105.5 KD Country. And guess what, Oscar? There's 10:55 left on the scoreboard. It looks like 105, at least from where I'm sitting, it does anyway. But I think works out perfectly. Colonels, things seem to be going pretty perfectly for them so far, although they did take a timeout, maybe not organized on the offensive play call, or maybe Juan just didn't like something he saw. He's going to reset the offense here. He's got Destin Brown right behind him. Juan's going to take it off right tackle. Juan surging ahead. He had a man around his shoulders and one around his waist. He's brought it down. Small pickup. Might have got it to the 5-yard line. Got it inside the 5-yard line. Sorry, Oscar. Got it to around the 4 is where they'll spot this football. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line.
And actually, Destin led on that play, did a nice job of blowing through that hole that the offensive line created, and got out, took out one of the linebackers, allowed Juan to get a little bit further towards the goal line.
Juan's great at using that momentum, too. You know, when he gets stopped, he always seems to fall forward. They do have Demetrius Johnson in the backfield with them as that up back, that blocking back type of situation. Destin Brown is to Juan's right, one tight end to the right, and Juan using the hard snap count looks like he caused the Gretna Hawk offense to jump offside. Referee going to call in the colleagues there for some help. You don't see this a whole lot. He wants to talk to everybody and see what they saw.
Destin flinched a little bit. I don't know if that's what they're going to call him out.
Yeah.
Destin flinched and came out of his hands on the stop pads, and he came out of that a little bit. That may be what they're going to call.
Sure. And it's hard to know which happened first. You know, I think that's what he was talking about. Hey, did anybody else see it? They're going to call it on Altavista. False start on the Altavista Colonels offense. So you were right. Probably got Destin Brown just that little flinch, taking his hands off the thigh pads there. And, you know, credit the officials for getting it right. You know, I think a lot of times in the past, you know, one official, the head official, might say, no, I saw this. It's going this way. But nowadays, they do get together a little bit more and talk about it and say, hey, what'd you see? What was your perspective?
And it certainly changes the play call here.
It does. Makes it 3rd and goal still, but they're from the 10-yard line instead of about the 5-yard line. Thornhill looks like he's going to keep the same formation. One tight end to the right, one receiver on each side, blocking back and a running back with him. Facing the Destin Brown. Juan's got some room up the middle. Plowing through would-be tacklers. He is in the end zone for a touchdown. No signal yet. There it is. And that time Juan Thornhill kicked the Ferrari into high gear early, didn't he, Oscar? He busted through that hole, ran up the back of one of his own linemen, and then ran over one would-be tackler on his way to pay dirt there for another Altavista touchdown.
Well, once again, you get to see Juan's ball handling skills on display because he put that ball deep in Destin's gut. It absolutely fooled the defense because the flow came to the left side. Juan countered and went to his left. Nice job by that offensive line, and Destin leading on that play.
Excellent point right there on the ball fake. He sold that. That held the defense, and he even sent some of the defenders the wrong way. Snap is a little wide, but Juan corralled it, got it to the block, and the kick is good. Colonels extending the lead on the walk-around extra point. Another Juan Thornhill run preceded it. 28-0. Altavista leads. 10:05 left to play in the second quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, Main Street, Altavista.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels extending the lead here in the second quarter from Gretna High School. They're up 28-0. Juan Thornhill, second rushing touchdown of the evening. Oscar Briggs came into the game with 7. Gives him 9 now. Passing-wise, what does Juan have? Let me find it here. I should have had it already. Juan had 5 passing touchdowns coming in. Got 6 now. He's run 2, thrown 1. Destin Brown has the other Colonel score. Walk around perfect on the extra points on the evening, and I think perfect so far is a good way to describe things for the Altavista Colonels, even though there have been a few minor blemishes here and there. Most everything else going to script, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, it's Colonels are look good tonight.
Some other big games in the area, like I mentioned. Be plenty of time to talk about those at the Subway halftime show. We're still 10:05 away from it. 28-0 is the Altavista Colonel lead. Walker Allen on. Kick the football away again for the Colonels. Getting it set up on that tee. And remember, football fans, don't forget about KDCountryDollarSaver.com, a different half-price deal every week. Things like food, activities for the family and kids, massages, haircuts, and a whole lot more. Half-price deals go on sale every Thursday at 10 a.m., and they are in limited supply. So make sure KDCountryDollarSaver.com is a part of your daily routine. You can get there from the KD Country website as well. Kick off away here for Walker Allen. This was a little bit short. Going to land on about the 10-yard line and roll back. Wilson's got it again, going up left sideline. Sidesteps one guy and finally dropped it around the 32-yard line. Solid return there for Andrew Wilson, and the Gretna Hawks will start over with pretty good field position as far as the rest of the game is gone. 32 is exactly where they spot it. They'll scrimmage it from the left hash mark. That's the near hash mark to us. Going back out towards the road over there, Baden Drive. It's Baden Drive, right?
It is Baden. No, it's not.
Oh, boy. Now I sound like an idiot. Wouldn't be the first time.
No, Baden Drive is, not Baden Drive.
Okay, well, it's out there that way, though.
That's right.
That's not the actual road. I'm sorry. That you talk about amateur hour. Here it is now. Gretna Hawks offense looking down at the wristbands after the signal from Coach Simpson. Bennett's still in there, quarterback. He's got a running back to his left. They'll pull the guard right, give it to the running back. Good solid gain right there that time by number 21, Jaquan Logan. He's hit low and brought down after a 9-yard pickup, and the flag comes out late. I don't think it was on the hit, Austin. The hit itself looked fine, didn't it?
Yeah, the hit was clean. Appeared to be, but I
don't know what it was that happened. We'll see.
Trayvon Elliott was in the area, and Rep said something. Looked like he said something to Trayvon.
Well, and you heard Coach Sharnis mention it in the pregame. He's talked about it before. He said we've got to eliminate some of these penalties, and it's the old leading with the head. I think targeting, spearing, whatever the term is now. We used to call it spearing back in the day. Now, with the NFL and their insights, now usually called targeting or leading with the helmet there. So it will be an extra 15 yards. They're going to spot this now on the 45-yard line. Into Altavista territory are the Hawks. So it would have been about, again, a 9 or 10-yard pickup. Add 15 to that. They'll put a receiver in motion over here to the left side. Now he'll stop short and line up right behind the right guard. Bennett's going to keep himself. Spin moves his way out of the tackle. Stiff arm still not being brought down and finally dropped after a 4-yard gain. Good hard running again by Vaughn Bennett. Started up the middle. Spin moved his way outside to the left. Big stiff arm stopped one man in his tracks, and then he was finally gang tackled down by the rest of the Colonels.
And again,
like Bennett is down.
Yeah, continue to see the Colonels fly to the ball. This team pursues as well as any high school team that last year and this year's edition as any I've seen.
I would agree. And the gang tackling, the pursuit, the flying to the football is, like you said, very, very impressive by the Altavista Colonels. Now, their solo tackling, their open field tackling, that ain't bad either. But just the way they gang tackle as a unit is very good. Play's going to stop momentarily. Bennett will hop up. Both teams were giving their players some water. Now the Gretna offense is going to come back out on the field. So this is not good because Gretna, this will put them down to their third-string quarterback. It looks like it's going to be number 8, Chance Harris. No, it's going to be number 14, Brennan Arthur. He's just a freshman for the Gretna Hawks. Arthur will go under center, it looks like. So we'll bring up 2nd and 5, left hash mark, near side hash mark for us. 9:25 left to go in the Apple Market second quarter. Coach Simpson doesn't like the formation. They've got too many guys on the field right now. We'll see if they get flagged for this.
Well, you would thought they'd have broke the huddle with 12.
I would think so. Arthur, a little trouble with the snap, but he gets it back to his running back, Logan. Logan forges ahead, got some yards. Now he's driven back. Progress is probably going to get him across the 40 into the 39. First down marker is at the 35. They will spot this right on the 40. No flag came out for having too many men.
And you're starting to see this is 3rd, and we'll call it 5. And I got to imagine that the Colonels, that the Hawks are in 2-down territory.
I would think so. You would have to believe at this stage in the game they're down 28-0. Field position as well going to dictate some of that. It looks like Vaughn Bennett back in the game, so that's good. He just missed a play there. 3rd and 5 on the way. His running back inched forward there just for a minute, but just readjusting himself. Again, you can move. You can go in motion. Here comes the snap. Bennett's going to keep it. He's going to go right behind the running back. Nothing there. Nothing doing. He just stopped. Destin Brown was in there. Darius Johnson was in there. Demetrius Johnson was in there. Thornhill came in from the safety spot to clean things up. Call it a loss of half a yard. So we'll call it 4th and 5. 8:01 left to play here in the Apple Market second quarter. Gretna needs to get to the 35. Ball is resting on the 40, Oscar, and it looks like they are going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, and you're trailing 28-0. You're 0-4. 7:50 remaining here in the second quarter. It's the right call.
Agreed. Bennett's back in there at quarterback. We'd assume healthy. He missed a play. Jaquan Logan joining him in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. At this point, Gretna is taking a lot of time, though. They got to be careful on the play clock, I would think, now. Line gets set. Altavista defense again. Got about 5 down linemen up front, 2 linebackers. Thornhill, safety about 7 yards deep. Here comes a shotgun snap to Bennett. Bennett wants to throw to the right. Complete over there on the right side to his receiver. It looks like enough for a first down. Let's see where the ref spots it. It is going to be enough. Nice short little hitch route there by the receiver. Ran it right to the stick, turned around. Bennett threw the ball on time and on target, and it's enough for a Gretna Hawk first down.
Nice. They've shown a nice aptitude to throw the ball right. They've done a good job. Look for them to do it more often.
I think it was number 22, Jesse Dalton, on the first down grab. Yes, it was over there on the far sideline. Again, good 5-yard hitch route, turned around, ball was there. He caught it, secured it, stretched out across the first down marker. First down play coming again. They hand it to Logan. Logan trying to go behind pulling guard, driving ahead with the feet. He was hit hard around the shoulders, kept going, broke through a couple tackles, now finally dropped around the 29, 28-yard line. We'll call it a 5-yard gain. 6:45 left to go in the first half. Subway halftime show on the way after this. It'll be good. Highview halftime highlights. Possibly the code word for win with Subway, which you'll just have to stay tuned to find out, won't you? 2nd and 4 on the way coming up, actually. They moved the stick just a little bit there for the Gretna Hawks.
And Gretna's got a nice little drive going here, Kyle.
You're absolutely right. 3 receivers to the left. They'll move 1 over to the right. Now he'll stop short again behind left guard. Bennett's going to take the snap. He's going left. Going to follow that mass of blockers. Not a whole lot there, but he's going to try and high-step his way through the crowd. Nothing doing there as he is thrown back. Trayvon Elliott, Juan Thornhill, Wayne Short, all in on the stop for the Colonels. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. You're actually going to give him 1.5 yards of progress there, Oscar. So good hard running from Javon Bennett. Brings up 3rd and short now, 3rd and 2 for the Gretna Hawks with 5:50 remaining in the half. Altavista again leading 28-0. Big 3rd down again. Got to think they're going to go for it. If they don't get it, of course, same situation as before. 2 receivers to each side. Ball gets snapped middle of the field. Bennett hands it off to Logan. Logan's got the first down a little more. He's across the 20. Finally hit hard with a shoulder tackle by Juan Thornhill and dropped around the 12-yard line. Big time running there on 3rd down. The Hawks are putting together a good drive, Oscar.
It's a gain of 17, and again, that was a nice hole blown in the middle of that defensive line from the Colonels. And he did a nice job showing patience and let that hole wide open up and got down to the 11-yard line.
Yep, 1st and 10 from the 11. The first down marker is on the 1. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, although it would be a small area to make that happen. 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the right side of the field. Running back right beside Bennett is Logan. He fakes it to Logan. Bennett's going to high-step one guy, just hurled the defender, driving ahead. He's close to the goal line, but he is not in. He broke it past the 5-yard line. He might be on the 4 or the 3. Still shy of the end zone, though. Good ball fake right there by Bennett, Oscar, to freeze the Altavista defense that time.
Well, again, he's as good an athlete as we've seen on an opposing team this year.
Agreed. I would agree. I mean, we've seen some good ones. Joseph Dixon comes to mind.
Joseph Dixon, Deion Edwards from Appomattox.
Yeah, but we're talking about a guy that's a natural here because he hasn't been playing a lot of quarterback. He's got 5 or 6 touchdown receptions. He's now in at the quarterback spot, pressed into service there, and he's doing a great job. Bennett's going to line up the offense again. 3 wide receivers split way out on the far side of the field. That seems like just a decoy to draw the defense out. Bennett hands it off to Logan. This time Logan is short of the end zone. A little bit of pushing and fighting after the play there. No flags come out, though. Maybe a pickup of 1. Certainly got it back to the line of scrimmage at least.
Looks like Aaron called a gain of 1. Going to put it at the 4-yard line, third. And as you alluded to, it's 3rd and 3. Yeah, they can get a first down.
They can get a first down. Altavista going to try and stack up the middle of that D line and really clog that up. Colonels have got some of their bigger guys in there now. Wayne Short's going to be down in the 3-point stance. Also Trayvon Elliott as well. They may even get down in the old 4-point stance for this one. Sometimes you got to get low on these goal line situations. Hawks are knocking on the door. Bennett's going to try and take this one outside. Not a whole lot there. He's strung out. Big time pop by an Altavista defender, and I think it was Juan Thornhill that got in there and hit him around the waist to stop him in his tracks. They actually call that a loss of 1.
And Darius Johnson's the one that blew that play up. He got into the backfield and forced Bennett back to the inside.
Yeah, Johnson really did. He got outside. He made Bennett turn it up, and that's where the pursuit was coming from. Like we said, the Colonels' pursuit always very good. The gang tackled well, and they certainly showed it that time. 4th down on the way for the Gretna Hawks. Simpson's taking his time. He's right beside the official. I have a feeling he's going to call a timeout when the play clock gets really low. Heady play right there from a first-year coach. He wants to maximize the clock, and he knows his team is down. Why give the Colonels more chance to work, more clock to work with? He does call the timeout. We'll take the timeout with him. Gretna's got a big 4th down on the way. When you come back, they trail 28-0 to the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in and bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
High school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 28-0 on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs, and we're so glad that you have joined us here on a rainy night, Oscar. But the rain, it affected things there for a little while. It was raining hard, but half a dozen plays or so, maybe.
Yeah, this is a well-established field. The turf is solid. We're starting to see a little bit of mud show through in the middle of the field between the 40-yard lines, but it's still in great shape.
Yeah, it is. And again, like I said, this field, much like the Gretna Hawks in general, they're battle-tested too. So this field can take it. 4th down on the way, though. Probably the biggest play so far for the Gretna Hawks, anyway. And it looks like Bennett in the shotgun formation. Pistol got a running back right beside him, blocking back to the left. Bennett wants to throw on 4th down. Looking at the end zone, directing traffic. Lofts it up, intercepted by Michi Malbeck on the 1-yard line. Michi, he was thinking about an interception return even longer than last week, but cut down at the 10. Good job by Bennett to go over there and stop Malbeck because, hey, if anybody knows how fast Michi is, it's Von Bennett. Bennett lobbed it up. He took a chance right there. Malbeck was in the area, and Michi did pick it off, and he had eyes to go the full distance, but stopped short. Good defensive stand by the Colonels, though, to stop the Hawks. The Hawks were knocking on the door for a while there, Oscar. Altavista turns them away to preserve the shutout. And now, anyway.
Michi actually got that about 1 yard deep, Kyle, and he had the opportunity to just take a knee, but again, the sideline looked open. I guarantee he thought he was going 101.
Bennett got over there in a hurry.
Great job by Vaughn.
Yep. Shotgun formation. Donnie Montague in the quarterback. He'll hand it off to Dustin Brown. Brown sidestepping one guy, shakes a man loose to get to about the 21-yard line, which is where the first down stick is, and they will call it a first down. Good running there by Dustin Brown. Brown sometimes likes to use the power moves. That time he used the dance moves a little bit, shook one guy and sidestepped another.
2:38 remaining here in the second quarter. That was almost an 8-minute drive by Gretna.
It was, and that's what they needed, They really put something together. Montague was swinging out to Delson Dews. Dews still on his feet inbounds. He's trying to reverse field. Not a whole lot there. Good pursuit to the football by the Hawks after the complete pass and then the run. We'll see where they spot this with Dews. Well, he lost some yards after he turned it back.
He had it about to a 4-yard gain. He negated that because in trying to get back to the reverse field, he got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Montague is in at quarterback. Thornhill split out to the right. He'll throw it out that way. Malbeck on the catch. Thornhill lead blocking for him. Meach's going to get to the left sideline. No, he's dragged down by Jaquan Logan. Big pickup. It's enough for a first down. He's thrown out of bounds. I think the clock should stop. It does. 1:52 remaining in the half. 28-0 is the Altavista Colonel lead. They've gotten the football back after the defensive stop, and they're driving again. Make sure you join us after this for the Subway halftime show. We'll recap it, talk about all kinds of things, some more exciting than others. 3 receivers to the right here. Colonels will scrimmage this one from the far hash mark, 35-yard line. Montague wants to throw again. He's looking for Thornhill. Complete. Caught it right at the first down marker. Wong slipped a little bit and then bounced it outside. I think they'll give him the first down, but we'll see. I mean, he ran out on the wrong side of the stick to get a first down, but I think he went past it. Now, they'll spot it just short of the first down. They will spot it short. It'll make it 2nd and inches. So this ball is spotted on about the 44.5-yard line. And again, Altavista still in Gretna territory. 1:47 left to play in the Apple Market second quarter. Colonel's lead 28-0. Montague in again. He'll swing it out again to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck going to try the right sideline this time. He just trots it out of bounds at the 48-yard line. It's enough for a first down. We'll stop the clock as well. So smart play there by Michi Malbeck.
And for those of you that haven't seen, we've talked about it before, those of you that haven't seen Donovan Montague throw the ball, this kid's got a cannon.
Yep. And, the thing that amazes me, Oscar, is how he can be so polished back there at the quarterback, even though he doesn't play it very much. He looks like a guy that plays it a whole lot. He'll hand it off this time to Destin Brown. Brown steps back inside, gets to the head to the 41-yard line. First down marker was at the 40. He's a little short of that, and this will be the first time, really, the clock hasn't stopped in the last few series of plays that the Colonels have been running. Montague's going to get the offense together, though, quickly. He knows that clock is running. It's down to 1:19. 2 receivers to each side. Thornhill's in the slot. Michi is split out wide to the left. Nelson Dubes and Darius Johnson over here to the right. That's Demetrius. Donovan wants to throw. Hurling it long. He's got them all back on about the 10. Ooh, pass broken up that time. It'll fall incomplete. Michi saw that safety coming across. That was number 2, Keandre Clements. Michi sort of bailed out of that one at the last second right there. Pass wasn't exactly on target either, Oscar.
No, that'll bring up 3rd down. A little bit underthrown. And if Michi would have caught that, he probably would have gotten separated from the ball.
Yeah, Clemens had a good beat on it. They've got 2 deep safeties right now to the Gretna Hawks, sort of a cover 2 formation. And Clemens came across the side. Montague wants to throw again on 3rd and short. He's got it complete. Left sideline to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck turns it up across the 25. Still on his feet. Now he's rushed out of bounds there. Clock will continue. No, now it'll stop to move the chains. But they said his momentum will stop before he went out of bounds. So it's probably going to restart, I would think, when they spot the football. Good pickup again. I mean, Montague, again, just throwing a nice little out route to Michi Malbeck there. He's calm, cool, and collected. Just throws a strike nearly every time.
It's interesting to watch receivers run their routes with the difference between Juan and Donovan. They seem to run a little bit more confident set route with Donovan because of the arm strength.
Montague still in there at quarterback. He's got Brown right behind him. They'll give it to him on the draw play. Brown stopped, though. Really one man made the tackle right there. It was big number 71, Chandre Chambers, on the stop, the defensive lineman for the Hawks.
6'3", 303, and he showed some agility on that play because he wrapped Destin up and put him down. Nice, Destin. It was 1-on-1, so nice job.
Did you say 303?
303.
Well, we'll keep it here. Colonels took a timeout. Let's keep it here. Big stop right there because, if Clemens doesn't make that play, if Chambers doesn't make that play, I'm sorry, Brown's got a lot of room to run, Oscar. He had a full 10 yards of green space in front of him. I mean, you know what he can do with that once he gets a little momentum going.
The little delay, Pros that did a good job of freezing Gretna, and the Colonel's offensive job did a good job opening up that lane for him. Chambers was having none of it. Great play by him on that.
It really was. 42 seconds left to play here in half. Colonels lead 28-0. They're looking to add to that lead here. Put together a nice long drive. It started around the 10-yard line after a Michi Malbeck interception. That stopped a very good Hawks drive. And if you joined us late, it's been pretty much all Altavista all the time, although the Hawks have shown some flashes. They have. And again, like I said, that was their best drive they were putting together. Malbeck squashed that on the 4th down interception. I suppose he could have batted it down on the 4th down play, and you could have taken it right there on the turnover on downs. Montague got 2nd and long coming up. He wants to pass again. Got to get rid of it. Flushed out of the pocket. Flag comes out. Probably going to be on the Altavista O-line. Montague's running. Tight ropes the sideline momentarily and then runs out of bounds short of the first down marker. First down marker is on the 13-yard line. He got pushed out around the 14 or 15, but I think it's coming back. It's a flag on the Altavista Colonels O-line there. As Donovan Montague was racing out of the pocket.
Yeah, Donovan did a nice job of getting out on the edge there, but they're calling that hold, saying it took place at the 27-yard line. That's a spot foul, 10 yards.
Yep.
That'll bring up second and...
Yeah, second and at least 20. We'll see when they finally spot it. First down marker is on the 12 by my vantage point. So, no, it's going to be 24, 25 maybe, and we'll call it 23. 24, I don't know. I'm getting confused myself now. Is it bus ride territory yet? Is it second in a bus ride yet?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll call it second in the bus ride. Bunch formation for the Altavista Colonels to the right. Ball's going to get snapped from the far hash mark. Montague picks up the low snap, wants to throw again. Got to get rid of it because Chambers was coming from the backside. Big stop right there again by the big man. Sacked by Chandre Chambers there. He dropped Montague, and Montague felt that one a little bit. Like you said earlier, Oscar, he's 6'3", 303. You're going to feel that when he hits you. Another timeout on the field. We will take this one. 24 seconds left to play in the half. Colonels lead 28-0 on KD Country.
When you have more mortgage options, you'll be in a better buying situation, and I can help. I'm Courtney Woody with First National Bank, and we offer a wide variety of loans right here in Central Virginia. So if you want a more custom mortgage for a new home or to lower your existing monthly payment, contact me, Courtney Woody, at First National Bank in Windhurst. We've been focused on local customers just like you for 100-plus years. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels football, but they got third and long coming up, staring at the wrong side of the clock, too. Just 24 seconds left to go in the first half. They do have the lead, though, 28-0 over the Gretna Hawks, Oscar.
And Gretna does get the ball first.
That's true. Hawks won the toss. They deferred. Colonels have third and 34, we've decided, after much consultation with our friends here from Gretna. And Altavista, he picked up this kind of first down yardage before, so don't put it past him. Shotgun snap. Montague wants to throw again. Looking deep, he will. Throw over the middle. Thornhill tried to dive forward. It bounced. It's incomplete. It bounced at about the 21. Lon was laying at about the 19. Great effort, just underthrown pass a little bit. So this will bring up fourth and real long. I don't know, it's a tricky situation, Oscar. I mean, you're obviously out of field goal range. It's hard to pick up fourth and 34.
They're saying it's a catch.
Really? I could have sworn that ball bounced, but again, we've got a little different vantage point.
One of the...
Yeah, now I think they're bringing it back. I think the official that had the better angle was going over there to say, no, that ball bounced. It certainly did.
The side judge over there said it was a catch, and we didn't think it was from here either, so they got it right. We saw this situation in Chatham last year where they'll throw it to the end zone.
They've got the ability to pick it up. They are going to go for it. 4 receivers over here to the right. Empty backfield for Donovan Montague. Montague's going to get chased out of the backfield again, and he's sacked, not going anywhere. Dropped on the other side of the field, dropped in Altavista territory. And remember, the original line of scrimmage was on the Gretna 23. Montague sacked all the way around the Altavista 42. So it ended up being a big loss all the way around, not just on that play, but in general. It's going to be Hawk football. Gretna has taken time out. We'll keep it here. There's only 12 seconds left to go in the half, Oscar, and let's talk about this end-of-half situation. If you're the Hawks, I guess you run the old Hail Mary play and send it to the end zone, or maybe some kind of a trick play, but you figure maybe you got 2 plays. You probably don't have time for 3, unless you're just running sideline routes and get out of bounds in a big hurry. 12 seconds left. They got the football. They've actually spotted it on the Altavista 45-yard line. So they're in plus territory. They're on the right side of the field, but they still got 45 yards to get to the end zone.
Well, I can't. They've got one timeout or none left. I'm not sure. I think they've got one left.
I'm not positive.
I know they called one down in the end zone situation.
Here, so you're right. They may have one left. Again, a professional broadcasting team would know how many timeouts they have.
They don't have any left because the other one was a fourth down situation.
Yeah, and tried a hard count, tried the freeze play. Didn't work.
So no timeouts left for Gretna. So yeah, you got a shot sometime at trick play or Hail Mary or get 25 yards downfield and get out of bounds.
Well, the scary thing is, and Coach Simpson knows this as well as anybody, the Altavista secondary loves to ball hawk and make the interception, and they can turn it around into an offensive play in a big hurry. So you don't want to try a last-ditch Hail Mary attempt and end up having to burn you in the form of 6 or 7.
So I'll pick 6s for Altavista.
Yep. Shotgun formation for the Gretna Hawks. It's 1st and 10, 12 seconds remaining. They put a man in motion. They hand it to him on the jet sweep, but he wants to pass. Trick play coming here. He's got to get rid of it. He does. It's batted away, though, and intercepted. Donovan Montague on the pick. He got it about the 30-yard line. Chasing around the field. Now he's going to stop. He thinks he wanted to stop the clock and have a second left, but he doesn't. That'll run things out. First half is over. Altavista Colonels have a 28-0 lead. Please come back and join us for the Subway halftime show on 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pads, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Perkins Tire and Auto Service in Chatham. And we do mean service because Perkins Tire will pick up and deliver your vehicle. Call Perkins Tire in Chatham, 434-432-1100, 432-1100. Whether you need brand name tires or service, call Calvin, Stanley, or Frankie at Perkins Tire and Service Center on Highway 29 in Tight Squeeze, just south of Chatham. Perkins Tire and Service Center, your authorized Michelin tire dealer.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show begins here from Gretna High School. Altavista Colonels on top, 28-0 over the Hawks. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. It's always great with Subway. They've got a bunch of new fall things going on. And, Oscar, let me find it here. Footlong of the month for October is the Meatball Marinara. That's $5 featured footlong. $3 6-inch select Black Forest ham. Can't beat Subways in Altavista.
No, you do the Subway thing today. I did, and I did. What you did? I did the Subway deal.
Did the Subway?
I have the Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah,
the big Philly cheesesteak. Excuse me.
That's solid right there. That's for a hearty appetite right there. And anyway, speaking of appetites, maybe you've got one yourself. So it's time to win with Subway. I'm going to give you the code word here. And the code word, we're going to put a little spin on it. It's actually 2 words, or maybe a compound word. The word of the day is extra point, or should I say words of the day is extra point. So all you've got to do is be the first person to post. That's post the word, extra point, post the words extra point to the KD Country Facebook page, and you can win yourself a footlong meal deal courtesy of Subway's in Altavista. Let me run it by you again. Now's your chance to win with Subway. Just post the words extra point, like a football extra point, to the KD Country Facebook page. You're the first one to do it. You'll win a footlong meal deal courtesy of Subways in Altavista. And again, while we sort some of that out, Oscar, the Highview halftime highlights are coming up courtesy of Highview Motors GMC. We always talk about Robert Duff. We're going to talk about Mr. Scooter Duff there. Conference 44 runner-up over there in the golf ranks. Scooter's had a really good year golf-wise this year, Oscar. And the Altavista team in general, runner-up to our friends at William Campbell over there. William Campbell being led by senior Josiah Singleton, 1 under 71. When's the last time you shot 1 under when you were 17 or 18 years old?
That was never. I didn't take the golf up to a later stage in my life. But Scooter shot a 79, did finish second. The Colonels did finish second to William Campbell. And And that William Campbell team has been a singleton on them forever. Yeah. And Josiah's had a great summer, great spring. He's a tremendous golfer. But, hey, Scooter Duff, 79, finished second, all conference. That moves him, and the team moves on to the Manor again next week for the regionals.
Yeah, 1A East Region is at the Manor again, so they're comfortable. They're familiar with it. I saw some of those guys practicing this weekend, and Robert and I were having a good time with the gang over there, Mr. Cogsdale and all those guys. Fun group of guys, and they are practicing hard. They're trying to get there. And it's weird to say that golf is in the postseason, Oscar, because this is the 5th game in football here for the Altavista Colonels football team, and everybody else for that matter out in the area. But it's weird, golf's already in the postseason. Regionals next week, states will be in about 2 weeks. But got to take advantage of the weather while it gets good here. So part of the reason why that happens. But anyway, continued success and good luck to the Altavista Colonels golf team. Scooter plays left-handed, though. I just can't figure that out. I can't figure out how those left-handed guys operate.
And again, credit to Lewis Bryant for coaching those kids, and he does a good job with them over at the Altavista Country Club, the home course for the Colonels. They've got a little deal worked out where the Colonels can play over there, and they do a great job teaching the kids about the game and honor and integrity, and you don't have to worry about that with the Altavista kids. So it's a great win-win situation for everybody.
It is a great situation over there. Great situation here right now for the Altavista Colonels. They lead 28-0. We'll recap it, talk about the first half, preview the second half, and a whole lot more when you come back to the Subway Halftime Show on 105.5 KD Country.
Our thanks to these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Robertson Auto Sales, Lynchburg. Dealers with a passion for great quality pre-owned vehicles. We love cars and trucks, and it shows in our inventory.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, going above and beyond the courtroom. Your choice for any and all legal advice. Serving Altavista, Lynchburg, and Roanoke areas.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
Mad Biddy's Antiques, 105 Wood Lane, just off of Main Street. Come find what you didn't know you were looking for.
Dairy Free, serving ice cream, yogurt, fries, hamburger, hot dogs, and fresh chili since 1961 from their Main Street location. For a storm door that offers style and convenience, come to English's Building Supply in Altavista for a Pella self-storing storm door. These doors feature screens that are always there when you need them, and Pella's self-storing storm doors are backed by Pella's lifetime storm door protection plan. Come by English's Building Supply. See the full line of Pella storm doors.
English's is your complete home center.
Get a $15 mail-in rebate during October.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here on the Subway Halftime Show, we've got plenty of Colonel fans out there trying to win with Subway. We'll let our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, sort that out. We kind of misspoke there a little bit, Oscar. We wanted everybody to post. Some people are messaging. We'll take some of the blame for that. Maybe we weren't exactly clear, but the rules were this time post, and the rules have changed a little bit. That's why you always got to listen. I mean, you never know. Heck, next week we might do it in a Subway pregame show just to see if anybody's paying attention.
Yeah, that'd be a good point too. We've done it post game. We've done it late in the game. We try to do it halftime again. You never know when it's coming, so you want to stay tuned and listen to the Subway halftime show and pregame show.
Yeah, two great locations in Altavista, Main Street, and then also inside the Walmart on the Clarion Road. Football fans can always eat fresh with Subway. And again, this is the Subway halftime show. Let's recap the action here just a little bit. And I have a feeling some of this recap is going to involve some scoring plays that will probably be involved on Highview highlights. But anyway, Thornhill, Oscar, he's pretty much up to his old tricks. One long rushing touchdown, one shorter rushing touchdown, threw a long touchdown in there, and then Destin Brown had the other 78-yard touchdown run for the Altavista Colonels. That's the scoring breakdown. Walker Allen perfect on the PATs.
Yeah, that was a nice summary, Kyle. You're exactly right on the scoring, and some other stats that we can look at when you look at rushing yards. Altavista with 186, 125 through the air for a total of 311 yards. Gretna with 12 yards on the ground, 26 through the air for a total of 38 yards. Boy, it's been total dominance by the Colonels. Gretna did have a nice sustained drive, took up about 8 minutes of clock, and kept the ball out of the Colonels' hand, but they showed no points for it. So the best thing you can say is it delayed the inevitable.
Yeah, they did some ball control there where they did eat up some clock. Yeah, obviously less time Altavista can be scoring, so the Colonels have got to feel, or excuse me, the Hawks have got to feel good about that. But on the other hand, it doesn't make you feel good to be down by this margin. And I could play the other card on that and say, well, you're in it a lot closer than a lot of teams have been at halftime. And we've seen some 50-0 scores. We've seen some other scores, big margins at halftime. Hawks are only down 28-0. Now, I don't know if they have a chance in the second half or not. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what Coach Simpson's game plan is. Do we grind it out and just play that ball control again and try and keep the margins low as possible, or do we air it out and take some chances? I don't know. That remains to be seen.
They had some success throwing the ball. The stats show 26 yards passing, but some of that's been negated with some losses.
Yeah, and again, there were some losses in there with some big plays by the Altavista Colonels defense. I got a feeling the Altavista Colonels offense, though, is going to be featured on the Highview halftime highlights. And guess what? It is that time. It's all brought to you by Highview Motors GMC. Thornhill's got it back to his right. He wants to roll out that way, passing play, steps up in the pocket, avoids some pressure. Going to throw. He's got the ball back over the middle, complete on the 30-yard line. He's going to start it up, left sideline. Don't think anybody's going to catch him. Nope, touchdown, Altavista Colonels. Juan Thornhill. Brown right behind the quarterback, Juan Thornhill. Juan's going to put a man in motion. It looks like Woodruff. They'll hand it off to Destin Brown again. They're not containing Brown on this one. He's across the 30, the 35, the 40, the 50. Brown going down the left sideline. Nobody is going to catch him. Nobody's within 10 yards. Touchdown, Altavista Colonels. Destin Brown on the long touchdown run right there. Thornhill looks like he's going to keep the same formation. One tight end to the right, one receiver on each side, blocking back and a running back with him. Facing to Destin Brown. Juan's got some room up the middle. Plowing through would-be tacklers. He is in the end zone for a touchdown. No signal yet. There it is. And that's on Juan Thornhill.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors GMC. Come on in and bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors GMC.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall. Highview does it all. And big thanks to George Rosser and his gang for helping us out with the highlight package this year. Big thanks to Eleanor Haney, officer. She has made that sound really, really good. And when you got a team like the Colonels, you do have some highlights to choose from, don't you?
Yeah, and that's it's new technology for us, and
yeah,
as you alluded to earlier, and we've transitioned into that, and she does a great job with that. And when you talk about 52 years of award-winning sports, you can't do it without great engineers.
You can't. She's one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. And going to run down some scores for you, some other area games here, Oscar. This is courtesy of my good buddy Eric Hall. Broadcasting with WMNA, they do a solid job, as always, here at Gretna. He just handed me his phone and said, here's some scores. A couple of the Dogwood teams in action tonight. Appomattox, 20-0 over William Campbell, or excuse me, 20-7 over the Generals right now. That was a game I was interested in coming into things here, because William Campbell's been having a solid year, and it was going to be interesting to see how Appomattox bounced back. So that's still a ball game at halftime, even though the Generals have the 20-7 lead. Liberty up 42-14 over Glass, close to halftime there. Halftime between Brookville and Rustburg. Brookville up 14-7 in the old Campbell County rivalry game. That's always a good one there. Just scanning over a couple more scores. Heritage JF, Heritage up 21-18 about halfway through the second quarter. Dan River up 7-0 over Chatham at halftime. So there's some area scores for you, and I think the theme there is they're all pretty close, Mr. Briggs, and that's exciting stuff there. We always love to check in on those local games.
Well, that leads us to let's talk a little bit. We've got 1 minute left here, and after this is the field. But let's talk about the first edition of the state rankings came out. And Altavista is ranked 4th, I think.
I think you're right.
In the East.
I was right here. You are correct.
They're ranked 4th in the East, and that hit me as a little bit odd, but until I started thinking about it, and they were about this position last year, and the fact that Randolph Henry and Prince Edward early in the year, other single A teams that are not as strong, and then we get into the 2A, and I think Rustburg's 3, right?
Yes,
so right. We get into that part of the schedule, but we'll start to pick up a few more power points. But all you can do is play the schedule.
Sure.
And, the fact that some of the teams are down this year, the Gretna team being down, Chatham hasn't had the best of the year. Dan Rivers started off a little bit slower than historically, and certainly slower than they thought they would. Again, all Altavista can do is continue to play the schedule and hope that the power points play out as they did last year, and we have home field advantage once we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I like this kind of transitioning into talking about the playoff picture and that sort of thing. And you're right. It does matter. You do get bonus points based on the quality of opposition, if you will. You get 2 bonus points for every team. If you beat a team, let me start it again. For the teams that you beat, like we'll say Prince Edward and Randolph Henry and Galax and Appomattox, those are the teams that Altavista has beaten. You get 2 points for every game they win. If you lose to a team, you just get 1 point for every game they win. So it does help to play quality opposition. It does help to play teams that are winning games. And obviously, the Randolph Henrys and the Galaxes and the Appomattoxes of the world, they're going to win some ball games. So Altavista's numbers are going to start to creep up. Teams in front of them are Perry McClure, who we know from recent activity, a Conference 44 foe now for the Colonels.
And Dawson is he's a real deal.
He's a real deal. He's got another guy back there with him that's run for a bunch of yards as well. So Perry McClure is a very good football team. Central Lunenburg, a team who a lot of Central Virginia fans know because I know William Campbell has played him a lot. Appomattox has played him in the past. They've been a perennial playoff team for a while now. Washington and Lee also in front of the Colonels. They've actually got the first spot. They're 4-0 right now. And that's a team Altavista basketball fans would know. I'm not sure if the Colonels ever played Washington and Lee in football, not in recent memory.
That's right, not in recent memory, not since 2000. Certainly since I know the 2009 run they didn't, and since then we haven't.
Yeah. So those are the teams that are in front of Altavista. There's a couple other undefeated teams in Division 1A East. Surrey is undefeated at 4-0. Lancaster is undefeated at 4-0. There's a bunch of 3-1 teams for that matter too. At 3-1 exactly. So this is going to change a lot. And again, it's a situation where in high school football and in a lot of other sports, you don't have to go undefeated, but it certainly helps to go undefeated because you pretty much are going to assure yourself of home field advantage all the way out, or at least until the region final anyway, or that crossover situation where you got to go play the 1A West, which is why Altavista had to go to Hayside last year.
Yeah, and William Campbell, made the playoffs last year at 1 and whatever. Last 2 years at 1 and 9 have made the playoffs, and they're off to a 4-0 start as well. Well, I think they're ranked 8th or 9th in the.
I got them here at 7th. That's right. Yeah. Generals sitting at 3-1. Again, they are trailing at halftime to Appomattox, but still certainly within striking distance. They're down 20-7 to the Raiders there. But yeah, in 1A East, 16 teams get in. I think there's only about 19 or 20 teams. So yeah, if you win a ball game here or there, you're probably going to get in the playoffs. Now that being said, if you're a 1-win or a 2-win team, it's not a whole lot of fun to go play somebody that's undefeated. But anyway, let's step aside for a moment here, Oscar, right before the third quarter gets underway. Altavista leading here at the end of the Subway halftime show. They're up 28-0 over Gretna on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Altavista.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch and Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
Here's more specials from your area Apple Market convenience stores. 32-ounce fountain drink, only 89 cents. Large coffee and fresh baked donut or Mrs. Freshly snack cake, just $1.99. Dr. Pepper, 99 cents for the 2-liter size. And 8-piece chicken, now $7.99. Every day from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Apple Market locations, Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street in Altavista. You know what they say, stop by the Apple today.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Apple Market third quarter about to get underway here from Lester Bonds Field in Gretna. Altavista leading 28-0 over the Hawks. Walker Allen will be on to kick off here to start the second half. And a big shout-out time. Oscar Philip Tweedy listening to us all the way out there in Blacksburg, home of the Hokies. And it's like we said, doesn't matter where you're at. You listen online at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app. You can thank Mr. Chris Owen, your All-State agent in Lynchburg, for that. Chris Owen, former D1 football player, so football fans are in good hands with that guy. And when he catches a golf ball, he hits it a long way, too. That's exactly right. We've seen that firsthand. When Walker Allen catches a kick, he hits it a long way. I'll talk a little bit more about winning with Subway here in just as well. We've got some time. Larry Rowland was our winner, and we had some people posting and some people messaging. Larry was the first one to post. There were some messages that came in later, but plenty of games left this season for you to win with Subway. Congrats to Larry Rowland, though. Return man coming here for the Hawks has got a full head of steam. Gets it across the 25. Down to now at about the 27-yard line. I'm pretty sure, Oscar, that it was Jaquan Logan again, the running back for the Hawks. I think he was the one who had the return, had the nice running prowess right there. 11:51 left to play in the Apple Market third quarter. 28-0 is your Altavista Colonel lead. Don't forget to stop by the Apple Market tonight after the game to pick up everything you need to make your weekend perfect. Going to be a cold weekend. Pick up some coffee or something tonight, hot chocolate, I don't know.
Be interested to see what Coach Simpson's strategy is here, Kyle.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the Subway halftime show. Do you take some chances? Do you try and get back in the ball game? Do you try and, cut the lead in half type of thing? Or maybe you just grind it out. Bennett's going to throw, swing pass, incomplete. He was looking for Rashawn Taylor over there in the left flat. Incomplete, though. Bring up 2nd and 10.
And there was nothing there. Altavista had that play diagnosed, and every receiver was covered. He essentially threw the ball at the feet of one of the receivers. So nice play by Bennett on that, avoiding a loss.
Sure. And really for Taylor's well-being, physical well-being, it's probably better off it was incomplete. He was going to take some punishment there. Although he's probably just as likely to give some punishment too. Handoff this time goes to Logan, forging ahead behind the center. Small gain. 3 or 4 yards. And hard running inside there.
You mentioned earlier that about somebody being sore. I'd be willing to bet Javon Bennett's going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's taking some hits.
Yeah, you got to admire a guy who's willing to put his body on the line for his team, like Bennett has tonight. Good hard running from Bennett. He's delivered some shots too. Remember the time he knocked Destin back. Third down coming up, 3rd and 7. Gretna O-line gets set, 3-point snap is low. Bennett had to grab it off the ground. Shakes off one tackle in the backfield, wants to throw, does. Complete. Looks like he's got Taylor there for the first down. The ball came out. Let's see if they call it incomplete. They do. Didn't know if maybe he had possession and then lost it as he went down. They'll say incomplete pass. Good job by Bennett to escape pressure and then throw a strike. But the contact that Rashawn Taylor took there as he was catching was just too much.
Boy, Bennett's got a good arm.
Yep.
His passes when he's had the opportunity have been on target.
Andrew Williams on to punt now for the Gretna Hawks. Michi Malback back deep to return, standing on the left hash mark, 40-yard line. This ball's going to get snapped from right at the 30-yard line. Snaps a little high. Williams corrals it, kicks it away. Sort of low. Malback will field it right there, one step away from the left sideline. Turns it up the left sideline, got some room to run. Now he's chased out at about the 50 or maybe the 49-yard line. Called a 10-yard return for number 1, Michi Malback. Solid stuff there, securing the catch and then getting the yards that he could. Directional punting, too, by Andrew Williams. Let me say that, Oscar. He's had some good kicks, and he hasn't allowed Michi to field any of them in the middle of the field. He's angled those punts. He's closed off half the field. He's really given the Gretna punt return team a chance to get down there and cover it.
And the Colonels are going after the block each time, so there's not much blocking, if really none from Michi. So nice job by Williams limiting that return game by Malbeck.
Ball back in motion. They hand it the other way to Destin Brown. Brown's got some room on the right side, headed up the right sideline in between the hash marks and the numbers. Now he's chopped down at about the 35-yard line. Thigh high hit by number 10. LeJean Laprade brought him down.
Demetrius Johnson with a nice block out on the edge to free Destin for 18 on that play.
Yeah, Demetrius got those long arms like Brother Darius. Once he gets a hold of you, he gets those mitts on you, and you can't hold, but if you grab the shoulder pads on the inside, referees will usually let you get away with that. Thornhill got Destin Brown right behind him. He'll turn. He'll give it to Destin Brown. Sidesteps one guy on his feet. Oh, he's got a man around his ankles just holding on for dear life, and that was enough for the tackle. Destin might have turned it into a touchdown if it wasn't for the shoestring grab of Jason Trent right there. It's enough for the first down, though. Called an 11-yard gain for number 7, Destin Brown, and the Altavista Colonels.
Boy, I thought Destin was going to break away from that, but Trent was relentless, would not let him go, and held on to him until Destin could give him help.
Looked like one of them steer wranglers out there. Trent just held on for dear life and give him very, very good props there. A lot of credit for making that tackle and holding on like he did. Michi Malbeck will join Juan Thornhill in the backfield now for the Colonels. They lead 28-0 over the Hawks. 10:15 left playing the third quarter. Juan wants to run himself, busting it outside. He's got some blockers in front. Right sideline takes a short, diving for the end zone. Did he get in? They're going to mark him just short. Referee points out a spot right there. Juan Thornhill went airborne, took it horizontal to try and go over the top of a tackler, but they say he is stopped just short of the goal line. They'll spot this ball, it looks like exactly on the 1-yard line, maybe even a little bit closer. Nice effort there by Juan.
On this drive, 4 plays, 4 first downs.
Wow.
And Juan's vision is just is incredible. We talk about his football IQ, but gosh, his vision has improved. He was patient, saw the hole and took off.
Thornhill going to run a play here on 1st and goal. Hands it to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck didn't like the initial hole. Now he's trying to bring it out to the left sideline. Not a whole lot there. He lost some yards. Dropped at about the 3-yard line. A little upset with himself and possibly the blocking. It'll be a loss of 2. They'll spot it over there on the 3-yard line for the Altavista Colonels. 28-0. They lead over the Gretna Hawks. 9:48 left to play in the Apple Market third quarter. We'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 3, Oscar.
Well, and this is where I'm going to tell you that they missed Clydell. Destin got winded on a couple of long runs. Well, now you got Clydell who can run.
I'm going to agree.
And don't have him.
Yep, kind of go with the guys that you have, though. Malbeck in there. He's run the ball a bunch this year, but you're right. Maybe Moon gives you an option of just a straight-ahead diving in there. Malbeck's going to shift over to the left side of Juan Thornhill. Thornhill barking out the place. Now he's going to look to pass. Now he's going to take it down and run. Sidestepping some tacklers. Flag comes out. Juan is being stacked up right around the 1-yard line. I don't know if he ever got in or not. No signal. I just have the bad feeling like the flag is going to go against the Altavista O-line. And I wonder if that's even why the referees didn't bother signaling the touchdown, maybe. He was stacked up right there about the 1 or the 2. He kept fighting. I don't know if he ever broke the plane or not. We don't have the best angle. Called an illegal block below the waist here on the Altavista Colonels this time. The old chop block is the call. You can block low in between the tackles, Oscar, against somebody that's lined up on the line of scrimmage. So if a linebacker is back 5 yards and then blitzes in, you technically cannot hit him low, although that certainly does happen sometimes. Technically, they're supposed to be lined up on the line of scrimmage in order to block low. They'll back Altavista up quite a bit. You're going to spot this thing on about the 19-yard line for the Colonels, Oscar. It's still 2nd and goal. 9:12 left to go in the aftermarket third quarter. It's 28-0 Altavista Colonel lead. 2 Juan Thornhill rushing touchdowns for Altavista in the first half. 1 passing touchdown in the first half. That was to Michi Malbeck. And Destin Brown had a long touchdown run. Thornhill got Malbeck in the backfield with him. He's going to lob it over to him. This ball's on the ground. They'll call it incomplete. It looked like it might have been a lateral, though. That's close right there. The Colonels, Michi picked it up anyway after 1 bounce. So I guess Altavista wasn't really in any danger of losing the fumble, but it's an incomplete pass.
And here it is. You had a first and goal from inside the 1 yard line.
Yep.
Now you got a third and goal from the 18. Colonels seem to have lost a little focus here. This is the second time they've done that tonight.
Yeah, they had a 3rd and 34 situation earlier in the game. Back when Montague was playing quarterback, Donovan Montague stepped in there to play quarterback. The last series, Altavista had the ball in the first half. Thornhill's going to call the play on 3rd down. Draw play again. This time it's going to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck headed up the left seam there, got some blockers in front. Now he's stopped around the 9-8-yard line region, so he's short of the goal line, which is where Altavista needs to go. This will bring up 4th and goal from probably, like I said, around the 8-yard line, left hash mark.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to mark it around that 8. Gain is 10 for Michi on that. It'll be interesting to see. I haven't seen if Walker Allen's coming in or not.
Allen is perfect tonight on extra points. He did make a field goal last week. They do look like they're shuffling some new personnel out there, so it looks like it's going to be the kick unit on. Walker Allen will be coming out to try field goal. 8:23 left to go in the Apple Market. 3rd quarter. It's a 28-0 Colonel lead.
And a little bit of time making that decision, so the 25-second clock's got to be getting close now, too.
Yeah, no.
Not to the 5 yards at this point. It looks like it's going to be, like you said, a 25-yarder.
Yeah. A little bit more than an extra point, but not much. It is from the left hash mark, though, so you got the angle. Snap was good. Hold was good. Kick was also good. So Walker Allen notching a few more points for himself in the Altavista Colonels. The lead extends to 31-0 over the Gretna Hawks. 8:03 left to play in the 3rd quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
31-0, the Altavista Colonels lead, courtesy of a 25-yard Walker Allen field goal conversion there. 3 more points there for him. Oscar, he's got 4 on extra points here tonight. So those things start to add up, and Walker, again, putting together really what I'd call an outstanding career. He's just a junior, too, and it helps when your team gets in the end zone a lot if you want to rack up points as a kicker.
Well, and, you know, nobody felt any worse after last year's Gretna game than Walker himself after missing that field goal.
That's exactly right. Colonels lost that one by 1. They're up here this time by 31. Still some time left in the ball game, though. 8:03 left to go in the Apple Market 3rd quarter. Allen on to kick off again. Doesn't have any touchbacks tonight. I'm going to blame some of that on the wet conditions and the footing, etc. Maybe he can't get the full run-up plant like he wants to. This time he will kick, and this one's pretty deep. It'll land on about the 5-yard line and mishandled initially by the Gretna return man. He'll take it left sideline. It's number 11. He's got some good blocking in front. That's Andrew Wilson again. Solid return that time. Followed the blockers over to the left. It looked like a design return to go that way, Oscar. Sometimes in high school, coaches will say, you know, just block a guy, you block this guy, block the nearest guy from you. That time it looked like the Hawks had a designed left side return there. And Wilson did a nice job to follow the blockers and bring it all the way out to the 30-yard line, 35-yard line, excuse me, in Hawks territory. We'll snap this one near side hash mark. Again, going right to left from our perspective down the field. Looks like a quarterback change for the Hawks right now. Can't see the number just yet, but we'll get it. It's number 19, DeMonte Haley. Haley going to keep it himself. He's stopped after a small gain. He ran into a big wall of Altavista defenders. Trayvon Elliott was one of those guys there. Wayne Short getting up off the bottom of the pile. So 2 of the very good defensive linemen for Altavista helping out on the stop there. Kagan Cox also in there playing D-line right now. Oscar?
Yeah, good to see Kagan back on. He missed, was it last week?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago against Galac. And then normally an O-lineman, but he can step in and play some defensive line. I mean, it's 1A football. Everybody's going both ways. Just a question of how much. Haley going to take the snap again. Going to try to the right side this time. He's got a lead blocker out front. That's number 21, Logan. Haley doing some hard running. Dropped the shoulder. Gained an extra yard on that. Maybe a total of 1 on the pickup there.
Demetrius Johnson got in the backfield on that play, and somebody's blindside. I mean, got him from behind. and he was looking for who got him.
Haley is 5'8", 235 on the roster here.
No doubt. No doubt, 235. There's no doubt. I mean, this kid he's built like a fire plug.
Yeah, he's listed as a fullback in the D line, so maybe a little bit of design run there, wildcat type of stuff. Bennett back in at quarterback now on 3rd and 6 for the Gretna Hawks. 3 receivers to the left. Back is to Bennett's left as well. 1 wide out over to the right. Bennett wants to throw. He's got a pocket to throw from over the middle, and it's batted down by number 6, Demetrius Johnson. Pass was going to be short anyway. Johnson just sort of swiped at it for good measure, and he got a little bit of a hand on it to knock it away. That'll bring up 4th and 6 for the Hawks. They look like they want to punt, trailing 31-0 over Altavista. 6:28 left to go in the Apple Market, 3rd quarter.
And this will be the second possession for the Colonels, and Gretna did a nice job limiting the 3 points after getting inside the 1 with a 1st and goal. So I'm sure they're starting to gain a little bit of confidence in their defense that they can stop this Colonel offense.
Yeah, you're right. The Gretna defense has performed a lot better than a lot of people. We'll get into, if you're Coach Simpson, do you take moral victories away from this or not? We'll get everybody's perspective on that. Maul backfield's the funnel about the 30, going sideways now, east to west. Going to try and turn it up. He does a little bit. He's across the 25. Stopped finally on about the 26-27. Met a host of Gretna tacklers there. Looked like Jonathan Ferguson, first guy on the spot there for the Hawks. Andre Chambers, the big man, was down there as well. And Altavista will take over in Gretna Field territory. 6:15 remaining in the Apple Market 3rd quarter. Colonels up 31-0.
And Donovan Montague on that play was coming back to peel back the block from Meechie, and did a great job waiting for the defender to turn and make sure that he stayed, kept his shoulders. Did a nice job blocking for Meechie on that play.
Gotta love how Donnie plays the game. I mean, whether he's a quarterback, whether he's a linebacker, whether he's a tight end, receiver, he's at quarterback right now trying to get his offense situated there. Got a back beside him and a back behind him. Snap does go to Montague. He'll hand it to Destin Brown, the tailback. Brown driving ahead. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. He plows forward for a couple more yards. Blocking wasn't great, so Destin just kind of had to BYOB there, be your own blocker. Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah, you threw me for a loop there. But yeah, nice job by Destin getting up. Nice job by the offensive line. A little bit of surge there.
Oscar was thinking about a different kind of BYOB, I guess. You can get that at the Apple Market, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Montague staying in the game at quarterback. Thornhill is out there as a slot receiver. 2 receivers to Donnie's left, 1 to his right. Again, he's got the up back, the blocking back. He's got Destin right beside him. Destin wanted to throw, but the first option was taken away. Pitched it to Juan Thornhill like an option pitch forward. Juan has got some serious room to run. Sidesteps one guy. Juan Thornhill going to hesitate, let the tackler go by. He's still on speed. He ran through one tackler. He's across the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Juan Thornhill. There are no flags on the play, and there were a couple of big blocks. 1 or 2 of them might have been close, Oscar, but are you kidding me? Juan Thornhill, the little shovel pass from Montague. Juan took it right up the middle, outside momentarily, sidestepped one tackler, then he stopped. He hit the brakes, did the Top Gun, and let him fly right by. Then he kept going, ran through an arm tackle, and finally, when he got past the 15, there was nobody from Gretna there all of a sudden.
When you think you see it all from Juan, he pulls something like that. What a great play that was by Juan. And, Gretna had a couple chances where they really had him contained, had their hands on him, but Houdini got away from him.
I've always said, I don't know who Juan Thornhill's favorite magician is. I don't know if it's David Copperfield, Houdini. I don't know who it is, but, man, he does a serious disappearing act and a magic act out there sometimes. Maybe that'll be Juan's new nickname, the Magician. Juan Thornhill with a receiving touchdown this time. Oscar Briggs puts the Colonels up 38-0. Timeout here with 5:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
38-0 Altavista Colonels leading Gretna Hawks, 5:12 left to go in the Apple Market third quarter. And Oscar Briggs, Juan Thornhill, we've seen quite a lot from him in his career. Deuce is wild tonight, Oscar Briggs, because I'm thinking this guy has just done some things that even we haven't seen from him in his career. And like I said, I think we may have to just start calling him the magician or the magic man, something.
We knew that they had practices in preseason that with Donovan at quarterback and experiment with one in the slot, one out wide, one in the backfield. They did it at Prince Edward. They haven't done it a lot since then. They played it. They tried it 2 or 3 times last week. Really, they've done it more tonight than in any game yet so far, and that was the intent of doing this, is to get Juan in some different spots where he's not coming out of the backfield in a running slot position. But, hey, that little shovel pass, they got the flow going to the left.
Yeah.
Juan kind of slipped under the defender, came back to the right, and it was on.
Yeah, that was impressive stuff. I mean, like I said, for Juan Thornhill, number 2, Deuce is wild, the Deuce is loose. You know about what scientists say. I'll get into that in a second here. As Walker Allen has boomed another touchback. Walker Allen, again, really one of the unsung heroes. He doesn't make the kind of electric plays. All he does is just make the extra points, kick the occasional field goal, boot the occasional touchback. He's played great tonight as well. He's played as good as anybody has tonight. Let me put it that way. Another great kick from Walker.
Well, he has, and we've talked about Walker and how the kick affected him last year and how he really practiced, the dialogue that Vinatieri sent him a ball. And,
neat.
Pretty neat stuff. And make no mistake about it, we talk about Thornhill. You're going to see Walker Allen in 2 years. He'll be kicking on Saturday.
I'm going to agree with that. I am going to agree with that wholeheartedly. Walker is going to continue to get better. Hawks going to go under center I formation here. They turn, they hand it to the tailback. I think it's Logan again. Not a whole lot there. He is stacked up. Flag comes out. He got hit about 2 yards deep in the backfield. Tried to keep it going and couldn't. We'll see if the flag is on. Still just in awe of Juan Thornhill. It's like you said, just when you think you've seen it all from the guy, we've seen a whole lot from him. Just when you think you've seen it all, he turns and he does something like this. Again, you're going to get Altavista another targeting, another spearing type of penalty. Somebody coming in too low leading with the helmet. Or not necessarily too low, but leading with the helmet in a way that is thought to be malicious. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty. I guess it spotted a foul, so be first down yardage, and it should bring the football out to about the 35-yard line for the Gretna Hawks. They trail 38-0 over the Altavista Colonels. 3:30 left to go here in the Apple Market third quarter. And again, with that touchdown, that has brought us to the running clock territory, plus 35-point margin.
That ties for Gretna's longest play of the game. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the Hawks, like we said, they've had they have turned. I was going to say they haven't turned the ball over. They have turned the ball over the one time on the penalty. Twice. Two interceptions. You're absolutely right. Montague had the other interception. Michi Malback has an interception. Toss play's going to go to Logan. Look at the left side. He'll turn it up. Hit low by Juan Thornhill. Juan never really wrapped him up, but he hit him hard enough with the shoulder that brought Logan down. Juan had some help there on the gang tackle as well. Devontae Clark was in the area. Donovan Montague was in the area. It's another game, Oscar, that the Altavista starters have actually played quite a bit in the second half.
And at this time of year, it's time.
Sure.
Yeah. The first 3 or 4 games, they didn't have the opportunity. Here we are in the 5th game of the season, and it's time that these starters go a full game.
I would agree with you. Coleman Teagarden in now on the Altavista defensive line. Looks like, again, the 3 down linemen, 2 other guys stacked up right beside him in the defensive end spot. They'll hand it Logan again. Logan's hit hard. Devontae Clark is there. Destin Brown was there as well, helping out on the stop. Darius Johnson, too, third man in on the team. Solid gain, though, for Logan. Picks up 4. Is going to make it a 3rd and 2 situation.
Logan's a good-looking running back.
Yep.
Strong. Holds on to the ball.
Jaquan Logan is just a junior. And he has run the ball very hard. Done a nice job on the kick returns. Split out. He's in the backfield again, excuse me. Got a full back in front of him. 3rd and 2. Hawks need to get to the 45-yard line. Altavista stacking it up on the D line. They plugged everything up the middle. It looked like Gretna was trying to QB sneak. Bad idea. I think the quarterback actually lost yards. That's number 14, Brennan Arthur, in there again. He didn't get much. They'll call it just no gain, right back to the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the play, and it looks like Altavista was lined up in the neutral zone.
Okay. Colonels were really itching to get on that football right where the center was. You're right, it does go against Altavista. Going to back them up. Trayvon Elliott was one of the guys up there trying to really get in the backfield before the ball was even snapped. First down. Ball spotted on the Gretna 49-yard line, left hash mark. Hawks are going right to left. Arthur's back in there at quarterback. I formation. He's got the fullback about a yard behind him. Tailback's about 6 yards behind him. They'll give it to Logan again. Not much there. Devontae Clark in on the stop. Wayne Short in on the stop. Coleman Teagarden as well was there, helping out on the running play.
The impressive pickup. Yeah, and the impressive thing about that is that even in a play like that where Logan, it looks like he stopped, he still got 3 yards on that. He's a strong little running back.
Got that positive momentum you want from a running back, and that's what the great ones do. I would argue that Juan Thornhill and Destin Brown are very similar. They always fall forward. I mean, even if you hit them in the backfield, they're still going to gain 1 or 2 yards. Clock looks like it's going to wind down on the Gretna Hawks here to end the third quarter. They'll flip the field. They will not get this last playoff. So we will head to the Apple Market fourth quarter. Altavista Colonels, they scored a 38-0 lead over the Gretna Hawks. Come on back and join us for the fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Now we're back from Gretna High School. We always find a way to have fun, Oscar, no matter what. Hawks aren't having as much fun as we're having. They trail 38-0 over the Altavista Colonels. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, back at home base. A+, Grand Slam. Give me another analogy I can use to describe how good she is.
She's the best.
She's the best. There you go. Simply put, one word. That's 2 words, isn't it? The best. 12 minutes left to play in this ball game here as we begin the Apple Market fourth quarter from Gretna High School. Altavista back home next week, taking on the Dan River Wildcats, another Pittsylvania County team. Another big Dogwood District rival of theirs. And that's, tell you, Darrell Edmonds' coached teams are never easy to defeat. This year should be no exception. We'll get into that a little bit more as we go on. Arthur will get back under center for the Gretna Hawks. Give it to the fullback this time. First guy through. He's going to gain some yards and some hard running right there by the Gretna Hawks. I am fairly certain that that was DeMonte Haley again. Man, he lowered that shoulder, got low to the ground, and just kind of like a bowling ball. Hard to stop in there.
And there's another flag on the play.
Seems like the indication is it might go against Gretna. It is going to go against the Hawks. And I'm going to mention something about Vaughn Bennett here in just a second, maybe after this second down play. Looks like the Colonels have accepted. This will back up Gretna. Going to make it second and 14, second and 13. I don't know. They're bringing Gretna out of offense, moving back. They put up the original line of scrimmage, like, hey, let's snap this ball and get going. But the officials turned them back a little bit. Make it second and 12. Gretna huddling just right behind the ball. Literally 1 yard behind the ball. Normally your huddle takes place at least 5, sometimes 6, 7, 8, 10 yards deep. Arthur's going to get the offense set again. He's got one tight end to the right, fullback, tailback right behind him. He wants the toss play out to Logan on the right side. Logan's going to turn it up. Got some nice blocking in front. Haley was really out there on the edge throwing some good blocks, and now Logan gets it back close to the first down yardage. He's a little shy, though. Stopped on the 42.
Gain of 10, Kyle. That was a nice running play. Got out on the edge. Nice blocking downfield by Gretna.
Well, his 45-yard line is actually where those spot him. Again, Altavista pretty much got the starting defensive unit intact there right now. Thornhill's out there. Nelson Dews and Michi Malback, they comprise the defensive secondary. Linebackers look like Demetrius Johnson, Devontae Clark, Destin Brown, Donovan Montague. Maybe missing one linebacker in there.
Gretna's starting to matriculate the ball now.
Good matriculation of the football down the field. Hawks are going left to right now. Arthur looking over the defense, got his offense set. Line gets down to the three-point stance. Low crouch from Arthur. He'll hand it to the fullback. That's Haley. Haley driving ahead. He's hit hard by Teagarden. Teagarden's just got to sort of bear hug him down to the ground. He does just that. They only call it a 1-yard pickup. Honestly, I thought he might have got at least 2, but sometimes those spots go both ways, don't they, Oscar? And they moved it up a little bit.
Yeah, they moved it up a yard, making a 2-yard gain. And I'm like you, the side judge here marked it a little bit further down. It brings up 4th down. We'll call a long 2, Kyle.
Yep. Hawks need to get to the 41-yard line. They're in Altavista territory. Ball will get snapped on the 43-yard line. Center right now for the Hawks is Mitch Doss. He's had his hands full all game trying to block for this Gretna backfield. Arthur under center again. Tight end to the right. 2 receivers each side. Toss play. Going outside. Logan's going to turn it on. Hit hard. He is close to that first down marker. I think he stopped just shy, Oscar. Solid effort. Think he got hit by Destin Brown. Brown might have just stopped him right in his tracks there. Let's see where they spot this football. Arthur is signaling, hey, we got it. He's going over to talk to Coach Simpson to get another play, and the ref is saying, no, you're short.
They had to get to the 40, and both side judges had it at about the 41, 42, 41.5-yard line, so he was at least 1.5 yards short. Colonels take over on downs. That was a nice drive by Gretna. They took a ton of time off. They took almost 5 minutes off, 6 minutes off the clock on that little ball possession that they had.
Apple Market fourth quarter rolls on here. The Colonels now look like they're getting into some additional personnel out there. Looks like Jacob Adams will run the quarterback slot. Normally when he gets out there to run the quarterback, he's got different running back with him. It looks like Shaheem Pinnell will share the backfield with Adams this time. Sometimes Montague's back there with him. Johnny Montague, that is. Pinnell's going to turn around, and he's got a head of steam. I mean, running through people left and right, cross the first down marker, close to the 45. Called a 14-yard pickup, Mr. Briggs, on the sweep play from Shaheem Pinnell.
And Adams got a ton of activity last night at the JV game. Saw a ton of action, and he looked good last night.
The JV Colonels get the win. I believe they're undefeated on the season. Don't quote me on that. But we'll get some of those JV coaching staff and B-team coach Ryan Mitchell and some of those guys. We'll talk to them a little bit more, maybe get one of them on at halftime. Even if we have to do something pre-recorded, Jacob Adams is going to put a man in motion. He's going to give it to the receiver in motion. That's number 12, Jamal Thornhill. Thornhill can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Going to lose some yards, went east and west, and never could turn it up the right direction. Good coverage by the Gretna defense to string him out. Didn't give him any room to run.
Jesse Dalton on that stop did a nice job of getting hold of Thornhill and bringing him to the ground. It's also about
7:32 remaining here in the football game. Apple Market fourth quarter, 38-0 is your Altavista Colonel lead. Join us for the Subway post-game show. Try and get you some more scores. Wrap this one up. Preview next week a little bit. Just good fun and fellowship, as it always is on the airwaves here at 105.5 KD Country. Some stuff going on at 105.5 that you need to know about as well. Adams going to get the offense set, taking a little bit of time here. Shotgun snap on its way, belt high. He's going to fake it, going to keep it himself. Adams going to try and turn up. Nothing there. He is stopped in the backfield and hit hard. Big tackle right there by Chance Harris, number 8 for the Gretna Hawks. Just bounced on Adams as Adams really had nowhere to go that time. Ball fake did not fool the Hawks defense on this occasion.
If he's been able to get to turn the corner, he had plenty of room to run, but Gretna did a nice job of, I couldn't tell who on the got outside and made it turn in.
Third and long coming up, 3rd and 15 this time. Altavista. Ball's going to get snapped right on the 50-yard line. They need to get all the way down to the Gretna 35-yard line. 6:25 remaining in the ball game. It's a 38-0 Colonel lead. Jacob Adams for the Colonels looking to the sideline for the play. Going to yell it out to the offense. Shotgun snap on the way here. He's got a back to his right, 2 backs to each side. Goes with the hard count. Got the Gretna defense to jump. Should be 5 free yards for Altavista unless somebody on the Colonel's offense moved and we didn't see it.
And that makes, of course, it does make that third down much more manageable.
Sure. Yeah, at 3rd and 10, you've got some plays for that. You've got far less plays for 3rd and 15. It doesn't matter what group you use. It doesn't matter if you got 7-year-olds or NFL players. You'd much rather have the 3rd and 10 option there. You got a lot more plays at your disposal that you feel good about getting 10 yards with. Adams going to look over the defense again. This ball gets snapped middle of the field, 45-yard line. Again, they need to get down to the 35. Under 6 minutes to play. Going to be under 5.5 to play when this ball finally gets snapped. 38-0 is the Colonel lead. Now Altavista offense taking their time, let the play clock run down. They know the situation. Shotgun snap. Adams goes to the hard count again, and it worked again. Got a man to jump offside. 5 more yards. So Altavista has gained 10 yards Oscar without running a play, and with the running clock, they've run off about 3 full minutes doing this.
Well, and what's happening here, Adam just got a different cadence than Juan did, or different than Donovan did. And if you're watching the umpire, the referee in the back, Coach Sharmas is checking with him, seeing how much time's left. When he gets down to 5 seconds, he's signaling to Adams that that's when you start to play.
Yep. That's exactly right. They're taking their time. Adams stretching the legs out a little bit. It's not too cold out there yet. I mentioned it's going to be cold this weekend, but still very comfortable. Rain hasn't fallen in at least 30 or 45 minutes, too. So that's made it nice for the crowd. And a bunch of this crowd has stuck around. A bunch of the Altavista fans have stuck around, too. Adams going to bark out the snap count again. See if he goes with his hard count again. Running play, going to follow pulling guard. This is Cheyenne Pinella. Again, he slips and falls down. He was going to reverse his field and go back to the right, which may or may not have been wise. He didn't get that chance as he slips and falls on the wet turf. It'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Colonels. Colonels are going to bring out the punt team. First time they've had to do this tonight. And honestly, I don't think Mike Sharnes, head coach Mike Sharnes, that is, for the Altavista Colonels, I don't think he minds running a punt play. I don't think he minds getting his punt team some work, getting Walker Allen a chance to kick one away. Because let's face it, at some point, he's going to have to make some punts under some pressure, and the long snap, too. I mean, it's a big part of this as well.
Oh, that's right. And as you get a little bit deeper into the season, it's going to become necessary. So you're absolutely right. The game conditions where we are forced to punt, you do want to run the starters back in and let them get that experience because this is the first punt of the night. And, of course, here you go. You got a personnel situation.
Yeah, personnel issues here. They're going to get the proper number of guys up there. Juan Thornhill is the up back for the Altavista Colonels. Snap comes back real low. They blew a whistle. Play was dead. Delay the game on the Altavista Colonels. Thornhill was upset that he couldn't get the kick team organized. And like I said, I mean, it's you got a situation, too, as far as the long snap goes, Oscar. Number 55, Wayne Short, doing the snapping. It's a lot longer than an extra point or a field goal snap. Normally on an extra point or a field goal, you're 7, 8, 9, 10 yards back. Walker Allen's a full 14 yards back there. This snap is good. Steps to his right a little bit. Kicks it to his right. It'll land on the 25-yard line. Bounces head. Stays in bounds. Now finally goes out of bounds on the right sideline at the 20, called 19.5-yard line for the Altavista Colonels. So good kick there. Clock continues to roll. 2:35 left to play in the Apple Market fourth quarter. 38-0 is your Altavista Colonel lead. Oscar?
Yeah, that was a nice, he didn't get all of it, but a nice angle kick. 35-yard punt and a return, you'll take that.
Yeah, like you said, he didn't get all of it, but if that's your bad punt, then you're probably happy with that. You know, if that's your C game or your D game, you're probably pretty happy with that kick. He did get some decent yards out of it. Gretna going to go from the 20-yard line, middle of the field. This is probably going to end up being their last possession, I would think. You could have turnovers, something like that, but we've got a running clock with just 2 minutes left. Logan's going to charge ahead off left tackle. Finally stops around the first down marker and falls forward for enough yardage to move the sticks. 11-yard pickup for Jaquan Logan. Hawks will move the chains. 1:35 remaining here in the ball game.
And of course, the Altavista does have their backup players in.
Yeah. Subway post-game show is going to be another Subway celebration show. The Colonels do a couple things. They stay undefeated this year. They keep their long winning streak going. It's up to 15 games now, and they avenged the loss last year to Gretna. This time they pitch it to Logan. He's going to go right side. He's running through some tackles. Finally dragged down by Chancellor Mormon. Also, who is that other Colonel in on the play right here? That's number 21, Matt Aiken, right there on the stop. Good job, Matt Aiken, getting in there, mixing it up a little bit.
Matt had a big fumble recovery last week. Fumble recovery, whichever one you want to call it.
Yeah, easy for you to say, right? Number 20, Mateo Maul back there as well. We've seen Mateo with some big plays this year.
clock at 43, 42 seconds now. Continues to run.
Yep, might even be the last play of the game, depending on how it shakes out. Gretna getting some personnel in and out. One receiver was late getting set. They hand it to Logan again, this time on the halfback lead. 2-yard gain, gets it close to the 50-yard line, down to 27 seconds left. We'll see if Coach Simpson wants his team to hurry up and run another play or not. 38-0. Your Altavista lead. It's going to be your Altavista final here unless Gretna can bang out a long play here to score late at the end. Colonel defense is going to have another shutout. They tackle Logan after a 5-yard gain. That'll do it. Both teams are going to line up at midfield. Altavista, big victory over the Gretna Hawks. They win 38-0. Subway post-game show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
If credit card processing is important to your business, I can help. I'm Ramonda Davis of First National Bank, and I'm your local e-commerce officer for merchant card and other electronic business products. Local means I live in Central Virginia. I'm ready to come see you and respond quickly to what you need. Local means I'm focused just on your business needs. For the latest in electronic payment technology and competitive pricing, contact me, Ramonda Davis. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Apple Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Apple Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pads, where the boys of fall.
Apple Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Perkins Tire and Auto Service in Chatham. And we do mean service because Perkins Tire will pick up and deliver your vehicle. Call Perkins Tire in Chatham, 434-432-1100, 432-1100. Whether you need brand name tires or service, call Calvin, Stanley, or Frankie at Perkins Tire and Service Center on Highway 29 in Tight Squeeze, just south of Chatham. Perkins Tire and Service Center, your authorized Michelin tire dealer.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show finds the Colonels a big winner in the rivalry game, 38-0 over the Gretna Hawks on the damp turf here at Lester Bond Field in Gretna High School. I don't think the weather played too much of a factor in this one. Oscar Altavista gets the big win. A lot of damage done in the first half, but it did some special things in the second half as well.
Well, they did, and this is the deepest that the Colonels really have gone into a game with the starters this year. So it was certainly good to see that. You're starting to see, some of them are fatigued. I'm seeing a little limping going on, a little cramping going on. So good to see them go to go deep into a game.
I agree. They got some positives out of this. Obviously, you want to get a win. I think the Hawks can take a lot of positives out of this as well. We'll talk about that some at the Subway post-game show rolls on here. Of course, you can start fresh this fall with Subway's Fresh Fit Choices. Smart, tasty choices to make fall the perfect time to start fresh. And you're always eating fresh at Subway's in Altavista, Oscar, 2 great locations. Inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and then, of course, on Main Street in Altavista. Excellent stuff, as always, from Subway tonight. And, man, we love having Subway on board. Let's start the recap edition of the Subway post-game show, I guess, Oscar. It's going to involve a whole lot of a guy named Juan Thornhill, the magician, as I've given him a new nickname. When you're that good, you can have multiple nicknames.
The magician.
The magician? I don't know if I like that. Ooh, okay. Thanks a lot, man. Could have said that off the air.
No, I don't know if I want you bringing that to the next game. I want you to be thinking about it. But anyway, first started off with a 2-play drive, 54 yards, culminated with a Juan 50-yard jump. You like that word?
I do.
Colonels go up 7-0. The next play was 5 plays, 71 yards, took 1 minute and 45 seconds. That was a Malbeck 55-yard reception. Again, touchdown from Juan Thornhill. The extra point from Walker Allen was good. The next one was typical Altavista drive. 2 plays, 80 yards, 50 seconds, covered with a 78 run by Destin Brown. That was it for the first quarter. Colonels lead 21-0. Second quarter, really one of the more traditional drives that we've seen out of Colonels this year. 8 plays, 50 yards, 2 minutes, 32 seconds, culminating with a Juan Thornhill 9-yard rush. Extra point was good. Halftime, 28-0.
Mm-hmm.
Third quarter, Colonels went on a nice 8-play, 50-yard drive. Had the ball at the 1-yard line. Backed up. Anyway, walk around with a 25-yard field goal to make it 31-0. And then the next one was one of the plays that we'll hear again, and we'll think back at the end of the season, and as Juan's career winds down, we'll talk about this one as well. 2 plays, 71 yards. The Donnie Montague to Juan Thornhill 79-yard touchdown little shovel pass. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
And that capped the scoring at 38-0 tonight. That was early in the third quarter, and then once the clock was running, it was on.
That was the one where I started thinking about that magician nickname, because it's just he pulled one trick after another out of the hat there on that run. He showcased all the moves. What about the Phantom? Now you see him, now you don't. I'm telling you, Juan Thornhill, incredible stuff tonight from him. Oscar gives a big sigh. I don't think he likes either of those, but doesn't matter what you call him. He's darn good out there, Juan Thornhill. And the rest of the Altavista Colonels, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not all about Juan. He had plenty of help. It's just pretty exciting, you know, when you think about the night he had. He threw a touchdown. He rushed 2. He caught 1. I mean, granted, it was a short shovel pass, but it still goes as a receiving touchdown. It's a reception.
He didn't have a pick six and didn't return a punt or kickoff. He did
give him some time.
He may have been selling popcorn over on the
side.
I don't know.
Might have.
Boy, it was an impressive performance by the Colonels tonight.
It was good stuff. KD Country, always impressive here. As I'm going to get away from football just a minute, we're going to try and wrangle some scores for you, and we'll get our thoughts together. But be sure to tune in tomorrow for a brand new show, the Honky Tonk Jukebox, premiered Wednesday. It's a brand new music program where the Sugar Daddy dusts off the vinyl and he plays all those songs you never hear anymore. Oscar, he even dives into the stories behind the songs and the singers and the players. Talking about some bass players this week, talking about Waylon Jennings and Johnny Paycheck, talking a little Mo Bandy this week. I'm telling you, all that good stuff that even we don't play normally, we're playing it on the Honky Tonk Jukebox every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Check out more information online, kdcountry.com. You can always go to our Facebook page. Never know what you might see on there, all kinds of exciting stuff. And I'm telling you, my buddy Eric Hall over here, he might be my early player of the game, because he is just handing me the phone and giving me some scores. He doesn't have any idea what kind of websites I'm going to be going to. Let's make some long-distance calls. Make some long-distance calls. And a couple scores from around the area. One that we were interested in. Altavista's opponent next week, Dan River, get a 14-0 win over one of their rivals, the Chatham Cavaliers. Here's an interesting one for you, fans. Jefferson Forest, they're up 48-26 in the fourth quarter against the Heritage Pioneers. Battle of 2 undefeated teams right there. That one even surprised Mr. Briggs a little bit. I'm scrolling down. Liberty pretty much going to roll here. They lead 56-20 over EC Glass in the fourth quarter. You could probably thank Mr. Bob Elvis for a lot of these scores. Brookville leading 21-7 over the Rustburg Red Devils. I don't know. There's probably a few other ones on there, but let's wrap this thing up here, Oscar. We're going to take one more time out. We're going to bring it back with Highview Highlights. Chris Anderson, I'm sorry. That's twice. Chris Owen, Good Hands Award, and a little bit more. We'll preview next week some as well. Step aside here on the Subway postgame show. Colonels get the big win over Gretna, 38-0. You heard every second of it live on 105.5 KD Country.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Our thanks to these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito and Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Robertson Auto Sales, Lynchburg. Dealers with a passion for great quality pre-owned vehicles. We love cars and trucks, and it shows in our inventory.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, going above and beyond the courtroom. Your choice for any and all legal advice. Serving Altavista, Lynchburg, and Roanoke areas.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
Mad Biddy's Antiques, 105 Wood Lane, just off of Main Street. Come find what you didn't know you were looking for.
Dairy Free, serving ice cream, yogurt, fries, hamburger, hot dogs, and fresh chili since 1961 from their Main Street location.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here on the Subway postgame show, I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Eleanor Haney, our sound engineer back at home, but keeping us safe, keeping everybody sounding good and comfortable. And it's a big win tonight for the Altavista Colonels, Oscar. We've got off the beaten path just a little bit. They win 38-0 in a game. I think some people expect it to be a wider margin, whatever, you know. It's Gretna. It's always going to be a tough game. The Hawks showed a lot of fight tonight.
They did, and there's some potential with that team. They run the ball well. When Bennett had to pass, they did a decent job passing the ball. Only 101 yards for them tonight. Seemed like more than that. They had a lot of time of possession where they ate up a ton of clock, and the Colonels had 450 yards at the end of the third quarter. Ended with 459. Lost some yards in the fourth quarter in the running clock with the replacement players in, and really just total domination tonight. Two rushers, both Thornhill and Destin, over 100 yards on the ground. Very balanced attack from Altavista, 255 through the air. 255 on the ground, 204 through the air. So nice job by the Colonels tonight.
Yeah, and some very exciting plays, too, and we're going to relive some of them right now, courtesy of Highview Motors GMC. And again, if you want to relive all of it, check out our YouTube page. That's brought to you by Beller Chevrolet. A short drive will save you money. But let's get into some of those highlights right now. Maybe if you joined us late, you heard Oscar and I talking about a particular play by Mr. Juan Thornhill. Got it fed to him from Donovan Montague, but the Altavista Colonels clicking on all cylinders tonight. And here's a little bit of those highlights, the Highview highlights, courtesy of Highview Motors GMC. Destin wanted to throw, but the first option was taken away. Pitched it to Juan Thornhill like an option pitch forward. Juan has got some serious room to run. Sidesteps one guy. Juan Thornhill going to hesitate, let the tackler go by. He's still on his feet. He ran through one tackler. He's across the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Juan Thornhill.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors GMC. Come on in. Bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors GMC.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Great stuff. Highview Motors GMC. From small to tall, Highview has it all. Seemed like the Colonels had it all tonight, Oscar Briggs, and we're wrapping things up. Let's see a little quick preview of next week. Hawks taking on William Campbell next week. I'd call that a toss-up in both directions. That's anybody's ball game. Altavista got a tough opponent themselves in the Dan River Wildcats. I know it's maybe not the Dan River of old, but still very dangerous ball club.
Yeah, Farrell Edmonds does a great job. They're always athletic. That's got potential to be another. We knew this stretch was going to be tough, and the Galax, Appomattox, Gretna, Dan River. To Altavista's credit, they haven't been really pushed yet.
They haven't, and like you said, that's to Altavista's credit, not a slap in the face to any opponents that they've played. Dan River is a team that's always got at least one or two Division I prospects out there. So
that's usually was last name Edmonds.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. But good stuff down there from Dan River. Looking forward to seeing them. Looking forward to being back at the friendly confines again next week after 2 weeks there at home and then coming on the road this week. Gretna's like a home on the road, so it wasn't too bad. And now it's time for the Chris Owen All-State Good Hands Player of the Game. I'm going to go first for the Gretna Hawks because I saw something on the sideline there. Von Bennett is my pick for the Player of the Game. And I tell you, he did great things in between the lines. But, Oscar, I don't know if you saw it or not. There was an episode on the sideline over here with the Hawks. One of the Hawks' young players, he was a freshman. I'm not going to name the name, but he got mad, got upset, threw the helmet at one point. And the first guy over there to talk to him was
Vaughn Bennett, even before any of the coaches from Gretna could get over there. And Vaughn went over there, and he had a bit of a stern demeanor. And he, you could kind of tell from the body language that his look was, hey, we're not going to do that. Don't act like that. Doesn't matter if we're up or down. You're not going to come over here and throw your helmet. And to me, that says a lot about a leader like Vaughn Bennett. Again, can't take anything away from what he did between the lines, too. So he's my player of the game for the Hawks.
Boy, that's tough to argue. I didn't see that, but I was going to go a little bit of a different direction. I was going to go with Lucas, but I'm going to, 2 weeks in a row, I'm going to concur with my partner because of that. I didn't see this incident with Bennett, but boy, he's in a tough situation as a senior. They've got a long history of winning here, and now at 0-5, I'll concur and go with Vaughn Bennett.
Yeah, he's been part of the whole spectrum here at Gretna, basketball and football. He's been on some really good winning teams, been on some state championship teams, and he's been on some other teams, some teams that have had their struggles. So Vaughn Bennett, good guy. On the other side, for the Altavista Colonels, a lot of ways you could go, but I'm just going to say it straight out. Juan Thornhill. You throw a touchdown, you run two, you catch a touchdown, made some great defensive plays, too, that we didn't even really talk about. I got to go with number 2, Juan Thornhill, 11 on the basketball court. Or is he 11 out here?
11 here.
Is he 2 on the basketball court?
11 here.
I get confused.
Clydell's 2.
Clydell is
2. And that's hard to argue with. And I'm probably hard on Juan because he is the easy pick. There's dominance every game. You mentioned it a couple times in the broadcast, and I'm going a little bit different route.
Go for it.
Because of circumstances from last year, I'm going with Walker Allen. Walker continues to show to pin the opposing team back with his touchbacks. He kicked a 25-yard field goal to take perfect from extra points. He is really, really matured. His leg continues to get stronger. Walker Allen for me.
Well, and I tell you, Walker Allen really is racking up the points in his career in this season. And I know back in the William Campbell days and the Gretna days when both those teams were winning state championships, their kickers, I want to say, I'll research this, but they've got state records as far as points go and extra points and all that kind of thing. Walker's making a bid to move up those leaderboards. So, yeah, I like your pick with Walker Allen. The entire Colonels team, really did play well. Great defensive efforts. Coleman Teagard in on a lot of stops. Wayne Short, Dante Poindexter as well. Some of those unsung hero kind of guys. But our unsung hero back at home base, Eleanor Haney, she a fantastic job as always. And the people that aren't unsung are our sponsors. Apple Auto Glass. Get a free car wash when you have a new windshield installed. Select Air, Mechanical, and Electrical. Your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Perkins Tire and Auto Service, Highway 29 in Chatham. Call for free pickup and delivery. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. First National Bank. They're focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving family since 1905. I saw Rob Finch the other day. You won't find a classier bunch of people than the Finch and Finch family over there. Apple Markets. Check out their weekly specials at all area locations. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money, and as I said, they sponsor our YouTube on-demand broadcast. Check out this game and any other Colonel game anytime you want at the KD Country YouTube page. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, great place for family and friends to dine. English Building Supply, featuring a $15 rebate on all Pella Storm doors. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. And Highview Motors GMC, small to tall, Highview has it all. Live internet broadcast at kdcountry.com is brought to you by Chris Owen. Football fans are always in good hands with your All-State agent, Chris Owen. This is the Subway post-game show. We'll wrap it up. Colonels get the big win here tonight over the Gretna Hawks, 38-0. We'll talk to you next week from Altavista when the Dan River Wildcats come to town. Till then, stay tuned. All the great country music on 105.5 KD Country.